Good evening, one and all. It's a Sunday, it's the end of the week, and that is, of course, time for us to be jumping in to some more good old Warframe. Welcome on in, everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. Welcome in, all of you. It is nice to be sat in the chair once again for another Warframe stream. Hope you have had yourselves a wonderful weekend, or are still having one. For those of you further to the west from me, still enjoying your weekend? Absolutely. Gun worth it? Alright, yeah. Lisa, you see where the title says I need convincing on the Kuva Sobek? That one. That gun. It's in the title. The key is in the title. Not the Ignis Ray. No, the Kuva Sobek. Because you see, I take it from the comments on my most recent video. Just using that as an indication.
See that Kuva Sobek.
First, Moon. Thank you very much for resubscribing on the channel here. 15 months total you've been a supporter of the channel. Thank you very much for that, Moon. Appreciate it. Cheers indeed. Wasn't a link. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry. I'll make sure to spell things out more thoroughly for you. Was it on the Discord go live notification? Hey all, stream goes live in 15 minutes. To be honest, I might need your help on this one. Convince me the Kuva Sobek is even worth talking about. It's got one stream to make a name for itself. See you there. Moving on from that one. So yeah, need to have agendas. Let's just tap out whatever's going on there. I've taken from the comments on my video on the Teneglaxian that a lot of people say, oh, other creators were shitty on this weapon, but you've showed me the power of it. Wow, this actually does something great. And curiously enough, is that the vibe I'm picking up is that more people are talking about the Kuva Sobek than the Teneglaxian. Now, surely there must be a reason for that. Surely there must be a reason for that. I'm going to say, taking ideas from comments. Have you gone mad, Ken? I'm not taking ideas as in full inspiration, but I'm using it as a litmus test, as I always do. You can certainly pick up certain vibes from the YouTube comment section. If you get one or two idiots, you know you got one or two idiots. If you get a few people, a bunch of people, all saying the same thing, there might be something actually going on. It's funny that once you get past the lizard man quotient, you start to notice, maybe there's something actually happening here. But in any case, the Kuva Sobek, at the moment, this is pre-augment from Nightwave, at the moment, is going to need me to be convinced. Now, Zomma's been saying throughout this a variety of details on that very topic. Let's bring this all together. So apparently with Zephyrs Tornadoes, can make acid shells, triggers, hunter munitions. Alright, so we got a weird, funky mod into mod via ability combo. Something then follows up with it's a weapon that supports specific setups but don't work that great due to armor scaling, ignoring the steel path health bonus. Sobek is a tech weapon, a synergy weapon, it's the Zada's Whisper of primaries. Right. A few bits to kind of bundle together there. And that is part of my concern with it, because I've seen a number of people going, oh my god, Kuva Sobek, Sarin loves it. If I have to use Zeph or Sarin to enjoy a weapon, I don't enjoy the weapon. That's a fact. And so people have seen use it to good effect, make it work as a room clear with a mass armor strip. Right. So strip the room first, then blow the room up. That is going to be a tough sell. So need to wreck the room to wreck the room. I mean, at that point you could just kind of cast any old damage over them, right? We'll see what it comes down to. We'll see what it comes down, but yeah. It's, considering the value I was getting out of the Teneglaxian with no setup required, that is a mild concern. Now, what I have seen so far, though, is that the Kuva Sobek does have some synergy with Lavos as well. Now, again, I know that's a singular Warframe, but Lavos does provide some curious synergy with it. Kashan's title. So yeah. The reason for the curious synergy is because it's a shotgun. It is a shotgun with a decent fire rate and a decent amount of multi-shot. And that synergy is that Lavos has that brand new augment, doesn't he? the Valence Formation Augment, which, among other things, guarantees a status proc. Now, I don't know how that'll affect acid shells, I've not looked into that, Zom, but if you've got a 10 multi-shot and guaranteed corrosive procs on every single shot, and this is 10 multi-shot before we've even got the modifiers built up, so we'll go higher than that. With that amount of multi-shot, you instantly armor strip your targets. In fact, yeah, it's got base 5 multi-shot. When you get the multi-shot mods in full force, because it is, yeah, 230%? No. Yeah, 230%, so 3.3 times 5, that is 16.5 multi-shot. You are guaranteed 16 hits, which means you'll cap out the corrosive procs in a single shot. That is an instant blap. So we'll see how all that comes together. As I'm saying, can we also point out it has weirdly high status chance for a shotgun? Does it have a weirdly high status chance for a shotgun? 21%. And it's a pellet shotgun. Okay. Felox, for comparison, is down at 5.5. Yikers. Cedo, his special case is 0.3. Strun, 6.7. Yeah, that is surprisingly high, isn't it? 12% there on the router. Arcplasma War probably shouldn't count because it's not got the multi-shot, so it's 34 singular. Rather than having the many shots. Kuva Heck, 13.3. Yeah, that's a very good point you've got there, Zom. Absolutely. 11.2. Normal Sobek, 16.2. So I suppose normal Sobek was already doing pretty well at 16.2. Yeah, normal Sobek was already doing pretty nicely on that side. Boar, 11.2. The multi-shot goes up, but yeah, still a drop down. Kuva Dragoon, double the multi-shot, less than half the status. Still comes out below. It is certainly up there when it comes to total status output, isn't it? Yeah. Kuva Comb? Kuva Comb acts weird, doesn't it? It ends up increasing its multi-shot, and that costs the actual status output. So that status is a lie on that one, yeah. Fake or heck? No, that doesn't keep up either. Yeah, Kuva Sobek, absolutely slapping the status chance. Alright then. Alright. So far, Zom taking the #1 spot for selling me on deets. Absolutely. And Miralabe, welcome on in. How are you doing today? Thank you for the 5 gifted subs going straight out to the community there. It's to Low Sniper, to Desert Fox, to Zesaru, to Tivon Jr., to Snoopy Smells. Miralabe, cheers for that. Cheers indeed. Void asking Exurgis. I'm going to assume you mean in the context of this. There it is. 3 multi-shot, 36 status. Yes, that's going to come out to 105 versus 108. Same amount. Pretty much the same amount. 5 times 21% is 105%. 3 times 36 is 108%. So it's basically the same. Trade-off, 1 magazine rather than 20. Has long range, bit of punch through, much worse critical stats, like terribly worse critical stats, but then it also absolutely slaps in the initial damage department. Doesn't get a progenitor bonus. Anyway. Found out about this game, would you recommend it? Unbiased opinion, of course. Unbiased opinion on Warframe. How do you think I'm going to be able to do that for you? I don't even know what you like. Just... how would I answer that question in a non-biased way? You've walked into a music club and you've asked the band on stage, hey, would you guys recommend listening to your kind of music? Give me your unbiased opinion, please. Sit down, grab a few beers, and see if you like what you see. You need a new MMORPG to waste your hours on. Okay, so you're looking for an MMORPG, one that takes up a bunch of hours, and you've ended up here. Cool. Void saying not an MMO. So there are loads of players, it's online, and it's multiplayer. I mean, that meets the technical definition. If anything, I would challenge the RPG, not the MMO. This is an MMO looter-shooter, rather than an MMO RPG. Because you don't have a role that you play, or a choice of roles to play. You instead have a variety of warframes, which have their own battlefield expression, but otherwise much the same case of you are completing missions as these warframes. It certainly doesn't come across as an RPG. You don't kind of develop a skill queue in a standard, or skill tree, I should say, in a standard RPG fashion. That doesn't exist, no. It's a gear-based looter-shooter. You go out, you get your gear, when you get your loot, you make your gear, repeat, until you get to maximum levels where you do integer overflow damage. And then you fashion everything to look pretty. Get all the pretty things. Yeah. That's the long and short of that. Sounds repetitive? No. What MMO doesn't sound repetitive? When you boil it down to its basics, which is what I literally just did there, I distilled it down to the absolute minimum of everything. What MMO doesn't sound repetitive? If you are looking to waste hours upon hours on a game, a single free-to-play game, and you're expecting it to have a non-repetitive sounding core gameplay loop. Core gameplay loops have to be repetitive in their nature. That's how they become a loop. They repeat. Yeah, everything ends up being repetitive when boiled down to its minuscules. Ultimately, I'm going to just tell you, your question is wrong. You've come in asking specifically for an unbiased opinion on would I recommend this game. So let's give you a better question. Would I recommend this game? No unbiased bit on it. Fuck that noise, because that is wrong. That is not how you get an unbiased opinion. You can't just say, make it unbiased like I'm ChatGPT and I'm going to change my output based on that. Even ChatGPT isn't unbiased. Would I recommend this game? Yes. Would I recommend this game to MMO players? Yes. Would I recommend this game to shooter players? Yes. Would I recommend this game to people who want a free-to-play game? Yes. Would I recommend this game to people who are happy to pay for their gameplay experience? Yes. So far, so good. Would I recommend this game to someone who only wants a game like Mario, as in literally jumping on a platform? Hell no. Because those are two very different genres. Would I recommend this game to someone who just wants to play Scrabble? Nope. You see how that kind of breaks down? As far as a looter shooter goes, I recommend it. That is why I play it so much. Can I possibly be unbiased in that answer? Absolutely not.
Just a reminder for the U.S. folks. Be mindful for your explosives you want to use, and honor our fallen veterans. Happy Memorial Day.
This is close as we'll get on that side of things. But Ray, thank you very much for resubscribing at tier 3 at 26 months. Ray, thank you very much for that. And a happy Memorial Day to you as well. Cheers. And the hydrate as well from Freezy Worm. I'm going to run out of tea before I've even fired a shot with this gun today. There we are. Okay, so, Kuva Sobek. First of all, I do need to finish ranking it up. I understand that is one of the mortal sins of assessing a weapon, is to not have all the mod slots filled, so I do need to finish ranking it up. I would have done it over the weekend, but I didn't want to, quite frankly. So I didn't. So let's finish leveling it up. Let me grab a good old Lavos and just kind of slap it into somewhere to shooty shoots with. I'm going to unequip everything else. I'm going to switch to maximum farmage. Vazarin, I think, is the one that gives me, yep, affinity radius increase. Excellent. Favorite brand of tea? Do you have one? I have not yet been given sufficient sponsor to answer that question. I am open to inspiration on how to answer that question. You got a fire Sobek, you wonder if you should re-element it. I mean, the element you get it on depends on what you want to use it for. It really comes down to how you want to use it. I know I'm open to bribery. I mean, how often do I say thank you to random people in the chat versus thank you to those who support the channel? Is that not a form of bribery? to get such positive treatment like that. Alright, corrosive, activate. Okay, these ones are just going to die first. That's cheating. Flap. Flap. Who does... Oh, he's armor stripped. All the corrosive procs. You get corrosive and you get corrosive. Everyone loves corrosive. Now, I'm hoping that someone's going to be... Yeah, someone's really picking up the kills here, aren't they? But although I'm somehow already on 46, I don't think most of that was with the gun. I would love to have the mission screen show kills by guns, abilities, so I could know which one was actually doing it, but yeah. Alright, let's just nuke the room again, because I can. Companion kills be going mad. My companion isn't even shooting. I specifically have it set to not be shooting. That is not its job. Also, I know this is an automatic weapon. Because everything is dying in one shot, I'm treating it as semi-auto. How did I miss both sides of him? That was embarrassing. Because like, if I just hold down the fire, I can do that as well. It just feels slightly wasteful, to be honest. Might have already been dead. It's possible. I might have shot at a dead man. So far, it gets some shoots in. It doesn't help that everything seems to be armor stripped. I think we have a Zaku on the team. Yes, we do. That'll be why everything is armor stripped in an area. And I'm still maintaining the kill rate. Again, I think most of that was abilities. Although, no, actually acid shells. Of course, we got armor stripped and acid shells. That's going to be helping. Didn't even cross my mind for a moment. That's certainly going to be helping here. That's why. How's that done for leveling up the gun? 32. We want 34. I think... No, wait. It's only got one former on it. 32 is it. So yeah, I need to leave. And then put another armor on. I probably shouldn't have come here for a 2-level increase, but whatever.
Hunter, you are running out of time. Enter the data conduit.
Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, so evidently we were getting a lot of good work out of the power of the weapon there.
Will go on without you.
We had Zaku. I forgot to look at what the other 2 Warframes were and setups. We got to see who else was with us. Oh, okay, actually, now if we look at it now. We do have a Volt, Octavia, Valkyria? No, something tells me we didn't actually have these ones in the squad. What elements on my Sobek? I think it's probably going to end up being Toxin. Did I go Toxin? Yeah, it's Toxin. 57.9% Toxin. Which is not a bad roll for a find. Okay, so with that done, we can slap in a former. There we go. Gives us a little bit more to work with. Currently running the Acid Shells approach here. Got cleansed. I think switches over to the crits now. Now I've got the extra former, I should be able to afford to make a critical setup start happening. We'll do that. Give that a try. Given the status chance, do you want Savvy? Things have been dying pretty much instantly already. Is the issue with that? Like, sure, I could try go for Savvy, but where is it going to help out? Are crits worthwhile? Do they affect acid shells? These are not the questions I have answers to as yet. I'll be quite honest with you. Still some details to work out on that. Unfortunately, because of the way that D designed these weapons, they hide all of this information. They're like, Well, works. You try to figure out, okay, does it actually work that way? Does it add to this? Does it not? I know that Acid Shells is based on enemy max health, but does that scale by anything? Does it deal with the armor? Did they expect it to work with the armor or run up against the armor and therefore also allowed it to crit or not crit? And then there's the 450 damage built into it, which may or may not crit. And to what extent does that increase as well? Does that 450 skill with everything else? It's just not clear. So I'm not entirely sure. Where do you get Kuva weapons? Same place you get all the Kuva weapons, Dogo. Same place you find absolutely every single one of them. You start a Kuva Lich and then kill them. Tuna say, I assume the Acid Shells HP scaling still doesn't take Steel Path modifiers into account. That is what I have heard. I've not tested it as yet, but that is what I have heard.
Underestimate them at your peril.
Alright,
They have just shut down.
let's take this into just a
I'm sending
Bozo survival.
capsules your way.
See what happened. It's a direct shot weapon, certainly with the corrosive bonus that Lavos gives it. I mean, it becomes a point-and-click adventure, right? Or just hold down, click adventure. And we see that's getting some work done, plenty. The problem, as pointed out by Zom earlier, is armor. Not the armor of the guy I'm shooting, but the armor of everyone near to him. Because, like, see this butcher here? Plenty of hit points. Not dead. Not dead. Not dead. How many more things need to die near to him for him to die? I might die trying to find enough things to kill him with. He's nearly there. That guy's out of range. There we go, he has finally perished. A butcher. On 45% of the max health of these nearby enemies, which are either the same or higher than said butchers. His arm was reducing it that much. Which is not great. To be honest, it's not a great feeling. And armoured enemies make up a lot of the enemies you face in Warframe. It's kind of a big deal. Explosion also has fall off, this is true. Yep. Another thing not mentioned on the mod. And it's like, if I have to set up grouping them enough for it to matter and then armor stripping them in the zone constantly to then get the explosion to do some amount of it and then there's Steel Path, kind of reduce the amount of hit points it throws out, it's like, or I could just take literally any good weapon and kill with it. Like, take any of the weapons that don't require all of this setup. How about that? We have the corrosive. You can see the difference with and without corrosive. I shot a few guys there and they just stumbled slightly. But with the corrosive effect, their armor gets instantly deleted because Lavos. Lavos laughs at them. Got a few more seconds of the corrosive. We'll see the difference once that runs out. It's just run out. Yeah, we're getting survivors. Now if we go for the headshot, they'd still usually die because headshots get a lot of damage bonus. You can see the difference on that guy right there. That Xmas was just holding on, comparatively speaking. And if you're having to aim for headshots with a shotgun, I really wonder what's going on. So let's turn on the corrosive again. And we are back to Lapsville. Population, all the Grenier. Now, I am abusing, basically, or at least making significant use of, the effect of Valence Formation on high multi-shot weaponry. There is no ignoring that. Lavos is making a big difference to the weaponry. In fact, if I switch it to a Toxin effect, and then find that Xmas, we can see the difference. And what a significant difference that is. But still a high damage weapon. Still getting pretty good hits on the headshots. The other thing is the kill rate I'm getting here. I'm at 268 kills after over 4 minutes, which is poor. That is a poor amount of kills. Does corrosive proc take effect before or after damage is dealt? The proc takes effect after damage is dealt, but because there are so many procs being applied, it feels almost instant because the later pellets in the same shot also apply the effect. Sorry, also benefit from the effect. So you'll see how I get such a spread of damage numbers, but if I switch that over to the Toxin, I'm still getting quite a spread. Oh right, viral proc as well. That's not a way I can demo it.
Extraction is your best option.
I have to demo that later. How are we doing at the XP on this? Not even close to ranks, but you know what? Let's get out of this mission. Where is the waypoint trying to take me? This way. Yes, yes. Oh, tours ran out. Oh no. Let's leave the mission. Some say if Toxic Lash didn't work with acid shells, basically no one would care about this thing, except Zephyrmanes maybe.
You have learned here.
Yeah, so let's have a quick look at what Sarin does with it as well, shall we? Let's say problem is comparison between Incarnate and Lich weapons and significant increase in power, which makes people just throw away every new weapon because it isn't torrid. That's not what's happening here, but sure. If you want a sweepy generalization, go for it. My issue is exactly what Tune and Cuba has just said. To be fair, Sarin makes everything good. And yeah, if a weapon requires Sarin or Zephyr's Tornadoes to be considered good, then it isn't good. It's good when it gets buffed to the nines. If a weapon requires armor strips for it to shine, then it's not shining. The armor strip is shining. Because we have weapons that shine without armor strips, as I demonstrated pretty handily in the Tenet Galaxian video. Lavos had it equipped, Lavos used no abilities, and just beamed everything down. Pretty handily, no less. And it is that kind of output that needs to be considered. Jared's Goods just needs armor strip. So I'll say when you're using Warframe abilities, it's different. Because armor strip is part of that ability rotation. Granted, yes, Jaya does struggle when you don't have a defense strip on her. But that is part of building a Warframe if you're going to use them as a caster, is using a way to bypass defenses. Guns, by and large, we see there are good guns which just work. Excuse me. That just work. Which shards do I have a Lavos? The same shards out of Lavos in the Lavos guide. I recommend you check that out. So let's grab Sarin real quickly. Now, what are we going to want for Sarin is the question, because I've got a number of different builds. I think I broke this one to test out something with it. But whatever. The question is, what kind of build does Sarin want to really make Sobek shine? No idea, Zom. No idea. What you should take with that. But what about Sarin makes the Sobek really shine? Because you say Toxic Lash, but I can guarantee if I give Toxic Lash 1% strength, it's not going to shine. So at what point does it suddenly become viable? Raw and Toxic Lash? Okay, so how many other things are we not mentioning so far? Or is that just one person's opinion?
You are a true hunter. Where would the sanctuary be?
Here's the thing, I'm asking for your suggestions. You need to give the full suggestion, not just name things at me. Also, armor strip with green shards. Okay, green shards don't armor strip, so corrosive procs. We've said green shards. Just needs Archon shards. Yeah, okay. This is always the risk on asking chat to suggest something, because I find very frequently y'all suggest 2 words and think that is an entire suggestion. Come on. Come the fuck on. At least try to finish a thought. You have the time to type it out. You have the time. Doesn't Sobek have a ton of orbit mods? Depending on how you define ton. To Third Coming, which is a bunch, I'll give you that. Also, plus status chance and plus justice. I'll be honest with you, that does not seem that amazing. Considering we get status from mods which also give us elemental bonuses, we get status from, not on here at the moment, but Galvanized Savvy. Getting just status chance, and then the justice effect, which is really not that good. A blast explosion, a little bit of health heal, and a little bit of armor. Nah. 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 That sounds terrible. That sounds just truly terrible. Alright, we'll proper mod later. Have I got any predictions or hopes for what the change to blast status will be? Predictions, no. Hopes, yes, but let's not get into fanficking. Alright. Let's bring out some good old basic heavy gunners. Why not? Let's start ourselves there. Let's start ourselves there. Now, without any weirdness going on, we just shooty shoots. Explodes, and wow, that was 3 digits of damage. I can't even see the damage on their health bars. Fair enough then. If we augment it with Toxic Lash on this current setup. 334 damage I saw in some cases. We're getting... well, we're getting an increase. This one still looks like they've not even been touched. We can apply this. Huzzah! You're more dying actually to the yeah, that's... I'm not sure how much of that was the Sobek and how much of that was spores. Am I running a cleaner mod? No, all my mods are very dirty. Yes, Tom, I put it on, it's right there. Prime Cleanse Grenadier. Hello Ken, do you think a maxed out toxic Kuva Sobek with a Toxin Riven would be enough for Acid Shell Sarin? I do not know. Alright, so once again we've got this. Toxic Lash. Alright, let's shoot this one for a bit. And then we get somewhere. Okay, it does create a bit of an Exploderinos. Which if we compare to, say... Hate them. Why not? Just out of curiosity, the effect here. Stop flailing, please. Now we can see that they're not all dying, so it was a chain effect from the Sobek's acid shells. Because this demonstrates what we're not getting. You can see Sarin's just not killing them that quickly. I need to put some punch through on this. So there is theoretical Theoretical scaling explosive damage from Sarin in an area here. We have that. Peter saying, do you think they will fix the progenitor bug? What bug? I was hoping maxing out my status bonus would increase the toxic lash damage. What? I'm sorry, I don't actually understand what you think is a bug there. You thought increasing your status bonus. Status chance? Is status chance. Why would that affect your toxic lash damage? Toxic lash is a guaranteed separate hit. Yeah. Still, for a bug, I'd recommend someone go straight to !bug for the bug report. Yeah. The Discord Bug Crackers channel does not need to hear everyone's suggestion of a bug. That's where bugs reports go. Bug Cracker is if someone has something where they've tested something but need verification, not just being an idiot about it. Yeah. Tuesday, 90% of the time I can't tell the difference between a bug and intended behavior. That's because D will not tell you. That's why. D will not tell you. And in fact, they will put something in the tooltips and then a couple of years later decide it was a bug. Fun fact, that actually happened. Multiple times. Cheers, Gum. Is a 3x Former bundle worth the plat? Can you afford it, and do you want the benefits that the bundle provides you? If so, yes. Otherwise, no. That's your answer right there. When they do that, for example, with Korra's Venari healing objectives, they stripped that out during Scarlet Spear because it was healing up the objectives, and they went, no, you're not supposed to be able to heal this objective, and so smacked Korra for it. They specifically targeted that, and also nerfed a whole bunch of other Warframe abilities in the process because they realised, oh wait, we've set up a thing where Warframe abilities counter it. Now granted, having Limbo just cheese the entire mission did feel a bit ridiculous, but I felt that they took some unfair approaches in declaring things bugs which were not bugs. It was just they didn't like how it trivialized the mission they designed. They ain't perfect. Okay, so yeah, acid shells on the explosion. Let's get some specifics on what this is doing. Let's get some specifics on that. And the best way we can do that is with a little bit of direct testing. Grab ourselves a couple of heavy gunners. And let's get rid of the... Oops, not the shields, the armor. Armor is gone. Now, Steel Path Modifier is currently set on, but let's shoot anyway. Okay, cool. So this is with the Steel Path Modifier on. And that looks like it's taken off about a fifth of the health. If I had to make a guess on that. If I spawn in another few of them, there's a couple that are actually out of range there. Let's get another couple. If we armor shift that group of them. So this is one that took damage earlier. Gone down a bunch more. And a bunch more. And a bunch more. And then finally dies, yeah. Now, let's just get rid of this one, get it off the field. Let's do that again without the Steel Path Modifier. There we are, that gives us a whole bunch of Renos of them. Over halfway dead. Dead. So, I mean, that's pretty conclusive there. The Steel Path Modifier is, in fact, getting in the way of acid shells. I don't know how much more conclusive that could be. The Steel Path Modifier is getting in the way of it. It's reducing it 2.5-fold. Or rather, the amount of health the enemies have is 2.5 times higher. Acid shells is not accounting for that. Alright, so that's giving us some detail already there. Let's take off the Prime Cleanse Grenadier now. Because previously, the one that was in the middle, that was kind of testing against, It went down to a bit below half health and then died on the second shot. So let's just re-summon the group. That's too many, but whatever. So now without the cleanse mod, sure enough, over half health now. And didn't die on the second one. So that verifies for us that the cleanse mod is definitely having an effect for acid shells. Again, no two roads about it. Definitely working. So that's given us some good info so far. So now let's throw in Toxic Lash. Let's just be more sensible about this. This might end up more acid shells testing anything else. Well, I mean, if the Sobek is just a shotgun with just stats, also acid shells exist, yeah. What else is there to test, Solomir? So once again, let's strip the area. There we go. So they should all have no armor. That is good. Toxic Lash activates. Okay then. We're gonna need that one to go through the replay. Yeah, we're gonna need that one to go through the replay to see what the hell actually just happened there. Let's grab video editor. Let's get that loaded up. You like using Saren's orbits with the Sobek? Okay. I suppose which orbits is left as an exercise to the reader. Let me just grab the details to load up here. Videos, Warframe recordings, the video I just recorded. Let's switch the screens over now. Alright. Let's give ourselves an idea as to what just happened there. So we can see I'm activating a good old Toxic Lash. We line up the shot, and we can see when the shot comes in, the health bar vanishes and then the damage numbers appear. You always gotta love that bit. But we can see the main hits themselves, and we can see then the toxin coming from Toxic Lash as well. What is curious to note is that despite the sheer multi-shot on this weapon, we're seeing 3 hits and 2 secondary hits. Curious. Alright. A frame later, we then get the damage spread to others nearby. And I'm noticing this one over here has got a hit without toxin and a hit with toxin. The same is true over here. So it looks like that the spread is causing Toxic Lash to do a second hit. Okay. Someone's saying Toxic Lash hit doesn't have fall off. I'm seeing lower numbers there, but yeah, well actually I'm seeing 2 different numbers. So Solomir, when you say Toxic Lash hit doesn't have fall off, what do you specifically mean by that? Because I have here 2 enemies, one further away than the other from the source, and the one that's further away has a lower damage on both the Toxic Lash hit and the normal hit. So what do you mean otherwise? What detail am I supposedly missing here? And the Toxic Lash hit, let's see, on this one, just running the calculator, is doing 97.5% damage compared to the main hit. And this one is doing 97.5% damage. Okay. Someone said, I might be wrong, but the Toxic Lash hit should be 30% of damage the Acid Shell's explosion deals, shouldn't it? You are almost certainly wrong on that. So, if we bring up the abilities first, Toxic Lash, I currently have a 39% setup. We then have to take into account that the Toxic Lash, the Acid Shell's explosion is blast, whereas the Toxic Lash is toxin damage. neither of which have any relevance here. Never mind, clone flesh is neither weak nor strong to both of those. That's fine. And then there is also the... what's it called? The cleanse effect. So the cleanse mod should be adding 55% again. So if we've got 39 times 1.55 comes out to 60.45. That's still not enough to account for it all. 1.55 squared is still not enough to account for it all, actually. Where is all that damage coming from? Why is it 15,072, 15,048 over here? That doesn't sound right to me. Hold on, let me double check on the acid shells. Am I thinking of the right damage type? I might be incorrect on that. Again, the game doesn't give us this. So it's 450 corrosive damage and then 45% enemy max health. According to the wiki, that enemy max health is a blast damage. That's what I said, yeah. Alright. Is the explosion a corrosive damage? Actually, part of it is. Part of it is. Let's see, difference between these two is... well, and I already checked its percentage base, so that's not the problem. This one is 416 over, this one is not 416 over, it's less. It's not that. Toxic Lash triggers a second instance, essentially double dipping. Second instance of what? Second instance is an incomplete phrase, El Nasto. Also, we can see 2 sets of damage. You wish you understood this game? I wish I understood this game, to be honest. That would be nice. That would be nice. Okay, if I go a few frames further, can I see any of the other damage on the others? Nope, they're going to stay off screen. I can see this one. 13,916, again we got the fall off on the basic damage, and then 13,568. I'm just checking, 13,916 divided by... nope. 13,568 divided by 13,916. 97.5% again, yeah, okay. Yeah, El Nasto, you still didn't actually finish your phrase. You still didn't actually finish explaining. When you say Toxic Lash triggers a second instance of... You gotta finish that one. Otherwise, you're not actually contributing a suggestion there. You're using some words. Thanks, Il. Didn't see that. Alright, well, I'm going to have to come back on the damage there, because I'll be honest, it's a little bit confusing. But let's say it looks like the 450 flat corrosive damage is also affected by fall off as well. Yeah, I guess. There's still the matter of, is it 450 flat, or is it 450 and multiplied by other things? This the game does not explain. Instance of damage deal. Okay. So on that side, saying Toxic Lash triggers a second instance of damage, essentially double dipping. Right. Double dipping on what? Now we need to get to the second part. Because double dipping just means applying a thing twice. Applying what twice? And we already can see, and I've been pointing out this entire time, that there is a second hit on each of these enemies. There is a hit, and then there is a hit with a Toxin proc, which is from Toxic Lash. Is from Toxic Lash. So, if all you've got to offer is Toxic Lash creates a second hit, we knew that years ago. I'm going to need something else if it's going to be of importance to say. Cheers, Mirrorlabe. Blake saying, sorry, did I mishear, or did you say that Acid Shells does a portion of blast damage? And if so, do you think it affects shield regen from the orange shards? Okay, I'm not even going to touch that right now. I'll leave that one as an exercise for the viewer. We're currently looking at Acid Shells itself, not synergy with the shittiest Archon shards in the game, quite frankly. I'll leave that to yourself. Does it get the cleanse effect twice? Okay, Spez, twice compared to what? From what? Scaling beyond where? To be clear, I know I didn't put it on the screen in front of you. I'm using a literal calculator. What I looked at is the damage from the normal hit from Acid Shells to the damage caused by Toxic Lash due to Acid Shells hitting, scaling from that item. The difference here is this Toxic hit is 97.5% of the damage from the direct hit of Acid Shells. From that 97.5, trying to figure out, okay, so exactly which modifiers are coming into play to cause that to happen. Because 97.5% sounds a lot higher than the 39% of my ability, and a lot higher of 39% multiplied by 1.55 of the cleanse mod. In fact, it's still higher than 39% multiplied by 1.55 multiplied by 1.55 again if it somehow was proccing that twice on a single instance. Do I have any other buffs? I have buffs up here, which may be of relevance. Not sure how, but they may be of relevance. This one is a multi-shell buff. That shouldn't be relevant. Poise definitely isn't relevant. We've got crit bonus. These are non-crits. We've got damage bonus from Primary Merciless. And then we have... I think that's armor bonus for my companion. Irrelevant. And this one is instant revives. Definitely irrelevant. So the only one that could be relevant would be Primary Merciless. If it turns out that Primary Merciless is also being reapplied when Toxic Lash is being calculated, that'd be a bit insane. Any toxic mods on Sobek? That is a good thought right there. It shouldn't have an effect because that should only affect the procs. But that is a good thought. And yes, I did have a toxin mod on it. Alright, let's get rid of that. That could be affecting our results. Let's get rid of the cold as well. We'll just go with the prime point blank to make up the difference. I've taken off the cleanse. Let's put that back on. To make up the difference, I'm going to put some crit damage on, just so we actually get the kill. And for that matter, give it the crit chance. To make up for the lack of elemental mods there. You're being nibbled on by a kitten. Is that normal? Yes. If you are supposed to have a kitten around you, that sounds like a very kitten thing. Alright. Let's redo this without the toxin mod on the weapon. See if we still get that 97.5. If we don't, put the toxin mod back. Does it come back? And if we get to that point and we go, okay, now we see what's happening. Good old basic science. Well, those are a lot of numbers. Let's see what those numbers came out to. Alright. We've just fired the shot there. 1 frame later, we see the hits once again. Some hits land, but then things die. Oh. Okay, this one over here is going to be the most useful to work from. We see 25,772. And then 15,579. Now, starting point. Is it me or is that number a lot higher than over here? On the original test, using toxin mods rather than crit mods, this one took 16,000 damage. And then 16,000 toxin. On the follow-up, we see 25,772. Yes, the toxin is lower, but we've got a few things to pick apart here. Did the original test have a faction mod? Did I not have the faction mod on the first time? In which case, that raises even more questions, I'll be quite honest with you on this one. As to where we were getting all that damage from. Okay. Let me start working some things through here. So 39 times 1.9. Will only be 7.4. Where would that be coming from then? Okay. Getting some questions here that I don't have a lot of answers to. Right, let's take this 25772. 25772 divide by 1.55 to say without the cleanse mod would be 16627. Our survey says 16627. Okay, so what we are seeing there is a difference between cleanse and no cleanse, which means that this toxin hit happened without cleanse. And ended up that much. What? Sorry. Huh? So by taking off elemental mods, putting on crit and cleanse, this isn't a crit. The toxin has gone down, and we can see the cleanse effect there. So the toxin mod's having an effect, but how are these numbers being calculated? The 45% acid shell damage to be multiplied by 1.55. Yeah, under average. I appreciate you trying to help out here. That's not helpful, because the screenshot you are looking at right now is without a cleanse mod. And the toxin is higher than with the cleanse mod, whilst I also took off elemental mods. Which is suggesting that the elemental mod is buffing up Saren's toxic lash damage with the acid shell's augment beyond the levels we should be expecting. So just telling me that 1.55 is being multiplied by the end doesn't actually help. Unless you can write out a full equation for the exact values that are happening, I would suggest you and everyone else doesn't throw out matter-of-fact statements. I really wouldn't recommend that. Alright. 16627 is the damage of the hit we're seeing originally there, and we know from the ability card that I should be getting a 39% toxic lash hit. That's how that works. It's how it's always worked. Right? In fact, I'm gonna grab an unmodded weapon just to really fully verify exactly what I'm talking about on this one. So we have I'm not using a stone. Somewhere to start from. Nell. Unmodded Nell. Nell should be fine, right? Let's get you lot. Unarmored. Nell. Body shot. 138. Cool. Toxic Lash. 138 and 59. Okay. 59 divided by 138. 42%. Going to be as a result of damage type modifiers, most likely. Do I have a pure toxin weapon? Why do you see 4 Stugs? Mirror Labe, that's why. It's still not going to be helpful to us here. That doesn't do what I need it to do. Hox, pure toxin. It has a radial effect. That's not what I want. No. What can I use here? What can I use to get around these damage type modifiers that really do just confuse everything all the damn time? Zymos? That has impact and puncture. No. Torrid? That is not... That's got a radial effect on the globules. No. Overguarded enemy? Was really hoping not to go down that route, but that might be the right route, actually. Now you say it, Spurs, yeah. Let's do that. Need to make sure that's on an empty build. Just having toxin present is not the answer. Please and thank you, everyone. Radial effects are also annoying because of how they interact. Right. Lots of slows, whatever. Okay, so normal tap on you. 150 to your overguard. Activate this. 59 and 150. 59 over 150. 39%. Yeah, there we are. That's working. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So Toxic Lash is working as expected there. Right. So I'm going to go back to Heavy Gunners simply because Xmas hit points will get in the way of everything, to be quite honest. Okay, let's do this bit by bit. Let's take out the crit stuff. Work our way backwards here. Strip all of you. There we go. No realm buffs that should be of a concern. That's actually helpful information. Wasn't what I intended to do, but that is helpful information. And now, arm strip all of you. Don't need to go that far down the line, but I've done it anyway. Why would I shoot you? Thank you. That's weird. Alright. Let's have a ganders at that, shall we? So, initially, without Toxic Lash, this one over here takes 23,969. Cool. And then when we come back and do the same again... 25,772. Why would it take more damage on that hit? That shouldn't have changed. What's different here? Okay, first hit doesn't stagger. Second hit, dead. Did I stagger it the first time? Yes. Which caused it to stumble backwards, which caused a reduction in damage due to an increased distance. For God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. Really now? Really? Really now? And staggers changing my numbers. Why couldn't D just tell us how these things work? Alright, let's get non-staggered, non-toxic lash hit. If even such a thing can exist. Just give us the information. Okay, you must suffer? Yeah, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's a requirement. Please don't get impact proc, just die. That worked. And I saw 25,772. I don't even need to look back at it. That was 25,772. Oop, wrong button, I need you. Okay, so matching in with this, we did that. This thing exploded. 25,772. So we get this toxin proc here, 15,579. Okay. And this is with cleanse? This is with cleanse, yeah. It's 25,772 times 0.39 would be 10,051. Multiplied by 1.55 comes out to 15,579. Yeah. So that is good. So far, that is looking right. About 25,772 damage. The toxin off of it is using our cleanse mod and is using our modifier from Sarin. As expected, that is working. We've gotten that far. That is working. That is good. I am going to apply a pair of crit mods first, because this shouldn't make a difference. Shouldn't make a difference. It might, and that is going to be important to see, but it shouldn't make a difference. So let's see what happens, shall we? Toxin activate, recording start, aim ahead, lap. Why did the numbers have to overlap? Oh, you absolute bell end of a game. Why? Whoo, boy, okay. So. Yo! Crimit! Thank you very much for running in with your party of 41 there. Welcome on into the channel. Hope you all are doing well. We're in the midst of testing the Kuva Sobek and all the weirdness that happens with acid shells. So if y'all are in for a pithy deep dive into the details, welcome on in for that. Cheers indeed. Somebody saying Toxic Lash hit will be affected by all elemental mods, 150 contagious spread and frigid blast. Really? I'll have to look into that with further testing. Let's see what we get there then. Solomon, that does sound to be on the money, doesn't it? That's wild. That is wild. Okay, we'll have to have a further look on that in just a moment then. So yeah, here, using crits, we see no change. The crit isn't affecting this. That is doing exactly what it should be doing. That is good. So yeah, let's follow up on what Solomir is surmising there about the whole elemental bits. And then, how's it going in here? Decided to raid someone new. Well, welcome on in. Thank you very much for raiding on over here. For those of you who don't know, just to be clear on that, I'm the Engineer, solve for practical problems here in Warframe. I also do Warframe videos over on YouTube, !YouTube for a link to my channel on that. Otherwise, welcome in everyone. Let's see. So, let's take out the crits. We don't need those in a way because we need the modding space. Let's start with... yeah, let's go with something that shouldn't have an effect here. Primed Chilling Grasp. Cold shouldn't combine with Toxic Lash, surely. Surely. Cold shouldn't combine into that. So, with this single mod alone, we shouldn't see any change of significance. Nothing, right? Right? We all know I'm going to see a change. We all know it. We're expecting it. Let's see it anyway. Oh, that looked terrible. Oh, that looked terrible. That looked like craziness on a crazy cake of crazyvilles. Trepidation. We activate. We aim. The same direct damage. So, 41,285 divided by 2.65 comes down to 15,579. 15,579, you say? My, that wouldn't be that damage number there on the previous test, would it? Now, is this something that I have missed about Toxic Lash in general? Does it just do this? Or is this something fundamental to acid shells? I think it is the latter. But just to be certain... Let's grab a simple gold bar. It's only 90%. It's fine. Just to be certain. You are going to break my mind if this does anything other than what it should. Actually, I don't want these. I don't want to test on those ones. I want Xmas. Because of damage type modifiers. Xmas. Grab you. Don't even need that many, but we grab them. Hello, Arctic Xmas, my absolute nemesis. Okay, without Toxic Lash. 281. With it. 281, 111. That is working as expected. So this shows... Yeah, it's a 39% damage there. No extra scaling off it. Which shows that in that case, Toxic Lash is not using the elemental mods. Or rather, perhaps more likely, is that both the damage from my nail shot and damage from Toxic Lash are both using the elemental mods, therefore appears to make no difference, whereas Acid Shells is not using the elemental mods, but Toxic Lash on Acid Shells does use the elemental mods, hence why it appears to apply. It would perhaps be more accurate to say that Acid Shells does not use the elemental mods, but does not also preclude them from stacking onto other things related to that hit. From a coding standpoint. This would go some ways to explaining how people are getting shiny numbers with the Kuva Sobek Acid Shells combination, because elemental buffs will buff the Toxic Lash effect that comes out of this. Which means that can also give us a way to get around the issue with the Steel Path hit points. Because this is going to do 45% of enemy max health. After Steel Path modifier, that is going to be only 18%. So in order for that to kill an enemy of equal maximum hit points at full health, we would need to have an elemental modifier of 456%. Before counting the Bane mods, of course. If we take out the Bane... Actually, I'm not even correct on that. No, it would be much lower because... Yeah, it'd be much lower because we were actually getting double hits in there. Never mind. Much lower than that. Okay. So how far can we take this? That's the question I'm coming down to. How far can we take this? How far can we take this? Total damage that is dealt by Acid Shells with Toxic Lash. We have Acid Shells, which is 45% of max. 45% of max health. Plus our Toxic Lash, which is 30% of strength. 30% of strength multiplied by whatever the Acid Shells is doing. Okay. We also know, and in fact, let's factor this out right now. That is actually like that. Oops, no. To make it each put on a new line. Factoring it out, so we got the Acid Shells portion, and then we got the Acid Shells and the Toxic Lash. We then know that this is all multiplied by the faction modifier, so we can go fac mod plus fac mod times the Toxic Lash, because it applies... is that right? Nope, that's not right. We can factor this out further. That's how it actually works. Yep. And then, as we've seen, this the Toxic Lash effect also then gets elementals. At 80%, just the modifier. Or actually, it's 1 plus that. Because if you have no elemental modifier, you don't get 0. So yeah. First, say also can Toxic Lash's DOT equals Acid Shell to trigger again if it kills anything, so that allows even more scaling. The killing is going to be irrelevant to the scaling. That's spreading, not scaling. Because once the DOT kills, the spread is going to be the max health of the enemy, right, Flo? So yeah, so we're only wanting the damage here that comes from putting this all together to see what approach we can get for one-shot scaling. Once it hits one-shot scaling, the spread will kill. Although, does it only spread if the toxin procs kill? Because if so, that means then that if we get to one-shot territory, we stop it from scaling, from spreading. Right? I can verify that. We'll get to the one-shot and then see if one-shot is too good. One step at a time. So, we have the acid shells. Bloody hell, I'm losing the ability to speak. We have the acid shells. It does 45% of max health plus a token extra, which we don't care about. That bit is multiplied by the faction mod. And then we have the Toxic Lash effect, which is scaling off the acid shells and the faction mod, and then the faction mod again, and then also the elemental mods. Either triggers it, we'll verify. This should always be an instantaneous toxin proc. Toxin DOT isn't instantaneous. The application of a proc does not guarantee that the proc is relevant to the death. Okay, so faction mod we know is always going to be 1.55. That's 6's Ken. When working with Primed Cleanse Grineer. You can get Riven to take this further. We're looking for a non-Riven, non-Raw approach so far, because if we can get it all onto Saren and a gun, we're singing. The rest gives us freedom to do other stuff. What I want is for this lot all to end up equaling 100% max health. So we can take all of this. Let's say, 100 equals 45 multiplied by and that, which we know is 30% of strength. Let's just set that. Yeah, let's put that in. 30% times strength. 1 plus elemental mod. That's meant to be a percent. So this, let's pre-multiply that now. 45 times 1.55. So that is 69.75. Forgot the steel path modifier, so this is actually 250. That's what we want that to be, due to steel path modifier. So let's multiply this down as well. Start removing as many elements as we can here. So it's 46.5. Lots of multiplications and whatnot. So let's put this onto a new line to make it easier to keep track of where I'm at in case I make a mistake now, because that is likely to happen. I'm going to expand these inner brackets here. So we'll have 46.5 times strength plus 46.5 times strength times the elemental mod. Okay, expanded out those brackets. And then we can expand again to get rid of these further... oh, that doesn't belong anymore. We can expand this further again. I'm just doing this to try and do it mentally in my head, because I mentally written out. I'm not looking to use a calc case for this one. I know that'd be easier, but I want to walk through the process. It's more fun to me today. So we have this first term, 69.75 times 1 is just 69.75. Plus that times all of this lot, which we... This is 46.5%, isn't it? Yeah. Whoopsies. See, this is why we follow our steps carefully. I was about to say, otherwise we're about to get some ridiculous numbers there. There is flow. We're just finding the breakpoint. We can exceed beyond it. Yeah. It'll be a one-shot at point-blank range. But that gives us the value minimum, and take it from there. Divide both sides by 69.75. That might be sensible. But I like having the 250 there, because we know that is the steel path health modifier we're reaching. So to keep that definition clean, I'm leaving it in place. So this we can melt down. Is 32.43375. It's ugly, but it's real. And then over here we got another plus, so that's where this would come in again. Yo, Mirrorlave, thank you very much for gifting this up over to Under Average 08. Under Average, make sure you say thanks to Mirrorlave for that. I'm already out of tea, so cheers with water. Alright, so this again, we know multiplies down to 32.43375. Time straight like that. That is done with now. So fear I may have overcomplicated this. Yeah, so we've got two variables we can really play with. Our strength modifier, which applies here twice over, and our elemental modifier. Those are the ones which can really be tuned. I feel like the elemental one is the easier to play with, because we can take that much higher. But I'm curious as to what kind of breakpoints this will give us there, what curve. I think this might be the point where I'd want to put this onto... yeah, shove it through a calculator to give me the graph, or give me the range of options. Does this also play with Venom Dose? Venom Dose is an elemental modifier applied to your weapons, much like a mod. So it will go right here, Ray. If you want to apply that, you apply that, but it strictly goes into there. If anything, it would kind of key into the strength term again. So you just have to write out another one of those if you really want to calculate down that road. But this is just trying to find what breakpoint exists. I know I can subtract from that. I was wanting to hold off fiddling with this until the last second, Tuna, because of the significance of what the 250 stands for. And if you don't know what that stands for, that's fine. Just means you've not been following. Yeah. Okay, I think the best way to take it from here is just to slap in one of the two variables to see what the other one's kind of poking at. And to start slapping with a variable, let's go with a no status base, because status doesn't seem to be important to us. Despite the fact this is one of the best status guns in the shotguns in the game, that doesn't actually seem to be important to us. So if we went for just viral for the sake of viral, 165 plus 90, that gives us 255 elemental bonus. So if we at this point replace that with 255%, we can then figure this all down to what strength is required. So now we can start dismantling the equation. So, taking the 69.75 from both sides, we get 180.25, like so. This is coming out to that, and then this term times 2.55, which is effectively all of it times 355. So let's just clean that up that way. We can now divide both sides by that term. So that comes out to equals this. And then divide out this term as well. That comes down to that. So this is suggesting the minimum breakpoint at which the elemental modding I have would cause a one-shot of equal unarmored enemies using this approach would be a strength of 156.55%. I think the gaming ghost, it applies as just a tag. So once you've tagged an enemy with acid shells, so long as they die, it triggers, is my understanding. It might have to be a kill with Sobek. That's something else to test in a moment. So yeah. So let's apply, now because of fall off, we'll want to apply more than that. So let's get a 200% strength build and see what the hell happens. Uh, 284 is actually a lot more than we need. So I'm going to take off that in favor of a smaller amount of strength. There we are. That's ugly, but it works. That gives us 200%. We can use our Toxic Lash. We're not going to use Nourish, just the Toxic Lash. And see what the hell that does. Just test with this. Does this create something ridiculous? Or have I just wasted all of our time? Either is possible right now. I needed the Steel Path modifier with that. Because that's the crucial point of this. That's the whole point of taking these numbers quite so far. Is that it should open up the access for it working with Steel Path. Again, we need the Almond Strip. Gonna do it that way just so it's nice and quick. Toxic Lash. Bat. Ladies and gentlemen, for your interest, and I got a hell of a lot of stacks on my gun in the process. And this is why we do math, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we do math. Because you find out how the world actually works. You see the pieces. They fall into place. And you know exactly which dials to twist, which mods to apply. This is the power of math. It allows you to blap. It allows you to blap. So here we see why people have been going crazy about Sobek Saren. Now, this setup with Saren currently has a nourish of 90%. And I'm currently using a 90% contagious spread. So if I get rid of contagious spread, first just getting rid of contagious spread, now this should rely on the toxin procs to kill, which will still be good. but it relies on it. Let's just verify that. I'm correct. It relies on the toxin proc. Excellent. And then we do the other step of it, which is to activate the Nourish effect. Because Nourish gives an elemental viral buff. Instant death. Okay then. Follow-up question. Zarta's Whisper. Does it do the same? With Zarta's Whisper, we want to get that extra damage to 60%. Based on what we've seen with Sarin, 60% is the mark. Let's grab a build that I don't seem to care about and has a lot of strength on. Yeah, let's just break this one. What do I need to do to get this to 60%? I need 230% strength, so I need another 50 odd. Alright, cool. Transient Fortitude. You can replace... if I can do that. 61%. That works. And we also need to put on the Elemental mod, because I'm not using Nourish on this. There we go. I'd overextended on there. It works. Good spot, but yeah, we got there. Armor strip. Armor strip. Activate. Ooh. Oh my. Oh, that was a little bit beautiful. And what if I didn't have Zarta's Whisper active, just to be certain that was important? Just to be very, very clear on this. So yeah, no Zarta's Whisper, all armor stripped. Wha-bam! I said... Wha-bam! Oh dear. Yep, Zarta's Whisper does it. Make it work on Lavos? Well, now you can. Zarta's Whisper. Zarta's Whisper. Okay! Yep. That's, We're cooked. We've cooked it. It is baked. So long as the enemy does not have a damage reduction to be applied, such as, for example, armor, we cook. Do we do raw or Zartas? Zartas. Raw will amplify damage. Zarta actually turns on the spread. Without Zarta, there is no second hit. With no second hit, there is no spread. You need the spread. Other abilities that deal second hits. Zarta, Toxic Lash. Zarta is a substream as well. There you are. So, yeah. We got it pretty cooked on that one. And now can you play without some form of lame armor strip? Yeah, absolutely. Take your favourite armor stripping Warframe in the first place that has Zarta's Whisper or Toxic Lash on it. So, an armor stripping Warframe, or Sarin or Zaku with an armor strip. Hey, fun fact, Zaku comes with one. Sarin also kind of comes with one. Or fight enemies that don't have armor. Let's see what happens here. How does it work with shields, one wonders? Ooh. That ain't great. Yeah, no, those shields are, proving to be a little bit of a problem. There we go. Shields are a bit of a problem. Dual gating? I think it was more than that, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what more, but it was more. So the thing is, they're weak to corrosive, not blast. Is the wiki certain about this blast damage? Because if it's corrosive, then what we just witnessed there would make sense, because Proto Shield would resist it. Also, Proto Shield is stronger than health. It's 250 versus 700, so no, it isn't. It could be that it's only taking into account the flesh, but it still doesn't make sense on how it didn't break the Proto Shield if it's not for the damage resistance on Proto Shield. Even then, damage resistance only make the Proto Shield equivalent to 500 there. Still wouldn't explain why we weren't breaking the shields consistently every time. And there's damage scaling over distance as well. Yeah. Still feels a bit weird. Oh, I did think you meant in general, Tom. Yeah, you don't put Zata on Saren. Saren's already got the double bonus, so instead you just want the damage ramp up. Probably. To be honest, that's a probably there, but considering how many times over Faction is getting reapplied, Raw sounds like it'll be the winner. Let's go for... You know what? Now surely... Oh, surely this won't work. For starters, I'm going to actually kill them with this Sobek, which could be a little bit problematic. Surely this won't work. Give me a moment. Well, it took a lot of health off of them. Didn't kill it. Why didn't it kill it? Why are you not dead? What about with Saren? Yeah, let's go grab Saren. Sobek didn't proc. Don't have damage reduction. I don't know on either routes. Let's get... Before I get Saren, I want to get different enemies in, to be honest. Let's try... these guys. Faction mod? Faction mod! That also explains why the corpus didn't die. Swan, congratulations. You are one of the few people who managed to crack that nut. I wasn't even seeing that one happening. You are absolutely right. It's the faction mod. You are absolutely right on that. Okay, cool, right. I'm going to need to upgrade the corpus model and come back. And then we'll retest against the corpus. There isn't a primed one for the Murmur, at which point you would need to have more strength or more elemental bonus instead. Ah, that was baking my noodle a little bit there. Not gonna lie, that was baking my noodle. Sort by rarity. Yo, Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for gifting a sub over to Swam. I realize now that's Swam Nice, not Swam. Swam. I was thinking like Swan the animal. No, that's Swam Nice. Swam Nice. Enjoy your sub there from Mirrorlabe. Cheers indeed. Thank you. Alright then, so primed cleanse corpus renals. Upgrade 40,000 endo. I can afford it. Whilst I'm at it, might as well do the corrupted one, I guess. Don't think I'm ever going to really use it. Also, is it 1.54 or is it 1.55? D plus. It's 1.55. There we are then. Okay, so with that in mind, El Sobrinos. Grab you. And this is not fully modded yet. We can add more elementals to this. We truly can take that further. We're currently reaching minimum level to explodinate. Do I need more? No, Mirrorlabe, I'm fine. I am fine. Mirrorlabe, please. Please, Mirrorlabe. Please. Do not let the hand of whimsy tempt you. Do not fall for it. There is no imp of the perverse. There is no call of the void. You do not need to fall prey to it. Alright, let's see what happens here. So, Zata on, headshot. Damn, he's still resisting it like a king. That does feel like it's shield gate I'm hitting, doesn't it? Yeah, because all of these guys have the same shield strip vibe to them. Damn. So because it's a non-headshot, non-ability, shield gate laughs. But without the shield gate, they just die. Okay, so it does mean you'll need to tap 2 enemies rather than 1. When it comes to the Corvus, because of shield gate, 2 enemies rather than 1, or you set up a shield stripping zone. Similar to how you need to armor strip the Grineer for it to do literally anything worthwhile. Now we know. It's a body hit? It's a body hit, yeah. But if we go Prime's Cleanse Corrupted, and we grab some non-armored Corrupted, does it even exist? Non-armor, non-shield corrupted. We grab ourselves some corrupted ancients. They don't buff each other, right? God damn it. That's close enough. Toxic Glass will bypass shields? Probably. In fact, definitely. Like, it shall. But let's do this anyway. Techs, because techs are big, somewhat beefier. Flash, smash. That's hilarious. Just absolutely ate every single one of them. Can I do it from here? I can do it from here. Let's nourish it. I don't need the second shot, do I? I'm just being too impatient. Well then. Just a bit, Miralabe, yeah, just a bit. Bye-bye. Alright, let's put some defense on this. Flo said, wait, so just be absolutely clear, the Cantoneer math guy did not know about Sobek shenanigans and stunned. It's more people say, oh yeah, Sobek, Sobek, so great, Sobek, 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 put it on Saren, it works. It's like, you can't just say, put Sobek on Saren, it works, because we have proof that is not enough. You need to actually put the bits together to make it work. Whenever someone says, yeah, the Sobek is great with Saren, they've given you literally no information to work on other than Sobek Saren. It's about the same as someone saying, grab Lavos, he's great, cool, what? I have the Warframe now, now fucking what? What mods do I use? What abilities do I cast? What elements are important in the game? You need the details. And seeing as very few people like to share details outside of 15-minute long videos, are you surprised? I don't watch other creators' videos. Yeah. How necessary are the Bane mods at high levels? Necessary. The Bane mod is being applied on the initial hit, which is speeding up your damage to actually get the kills in the first place. It's then be applied on the Acid Shell spread, which applies again to the Zarta's Whisper or Toxin spread, which applies again to the Toxin proc over time to cause the damage to explode even further. So you've got a triple dip bonus there to really make it work. If you're not using it, you're missing out on so much damage. So much damage. Yeah. Gina saying, to be fair, humans have a strong bias. I love the preference of humans there, as if you've done a global study, but sure. Have a strong bias to only provide additional information and evidence when necessary and when pushed, and most people are going to default to lazy responses. Yeah, I've noticed. What if you have gas as an element on your Sobek? Would it quad dip? Gas element doesn't quad dip. Gas proc can apply further stuff again, but you're not gas procking. So no. Alright then. I think the next thing I want to test... Yeah, the next thing I want to test is probably best tested with another player. So, who would like to be a guinea pig? If you would like to be a guinea pig, please send me a message in game, the Kengineer, and I'll bring you on into the squad. I'm going to leave the simulacrum because I'm willing to bet I've set it to solo at the moment. I need a guinea pig. Flowing Thoughts has volunteered to be our guinea pig. Wonderful. Thank you, Flo. I was indeed set to solo. Glad I popped out. Alright, I'll load into the simulacrum first, then invite you in. Save you the loading screen. There we are. Now, once we're done with the basics testing, and I think we're getting close to testing the basics, next after that is I want to see if we can make this work on not Saren. Sorry, I meant in general, not for this specific build. Thanks for the answer. Oh, in general, Bane mods are not necessary. In general, you can get away without Bane mods. However, you are missing out on serious damage bonuses, especially for status-focused builds, if you skip out on Bane mods. Skipping out on Bane mods is like choosing to go against the Corpus with Corrosive or against the Grineer with Blast. You are choosing to make yourself worse by not putting in the slightest bit of effort into a build of switching one mod. So sure, you cannot use them. Are you that lazy? And the answer for like 90% of the player base is yes. 90% of people will just end up saying yes. Okay, let's take off that. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, what I need you to do, please, and this is very simple, have no companion equipped, and have the adaptation mod equipped. Very simple as that. I need you to have adaptation. Alright, that all done? Done? Excellent. If you would like to stand over here, please, next to our lovely awaiting Corpus deck. Anywhere nearby will do. Okay, now your adaptation is going to trigger because you're going to get hit. And I want to know what adaptation triggers. This is a lot harder without all the buffs installed. Blast. That verifies it definitely does blast on the AoE. Cool. That's it, Flo. Thank you very much. That was so unnecessary. That was completely unnecessary. Thank you very much, Flo. You have yourself a good one. Alright. When Imp the Perverse takes control for a moment. Oh dear. Alright, so the reason that verifies it is blast is because we know that acid shells will put out two types of damage. It'll put out corrosive and it will put out the damage from the enemy max health. Now, enemy max health there, because of a very high level tech, should surely override the 450 corrosive damage, so whatever damage type then hit Flow enough to be the proc for adaptation will be the damage type that it puts out there on that explosion, and that explosion hit with blast. So that is how we know. That is how we verify it is definitely blast on the acid shell's explosion due to enemy max health. Definitely. Fully verified on that one. Right. So, putting all these pieces together then, we know that elemental mods affect, it appears, both Zarta's Whisper and the Toxic Lash. The reason that is significant is because it doesn't affect the damage from acid shells, but it does affect the damage on those two abilities caused by acid shells. It's a unique interaction. Yes, Zombanes, yeah. Also, Mirror cheers. So we know that elemental mods are important. Is there friendly fire in Simulacrum? If you turn it on, Squidmaniac. Funny fact, it is right there, friendly fire. Boop. I turned it on when summoning the Corpus deck. I turned it on specifically to make the test. It's a very helpful thing to have. So we know that elemental mods are a big deal. They are part and parcel of it. We know that Bane mods are a big deal. They're part and parcel of it. They will increase the damage of the acid shells, and then they'll increase again the damage that comes from the spread, which is also going to enhance the elemental damage. So there's multipliers on multipliers on multipliers, which is why we want to be stacking these bits and pieces. I didn't test things like Primary Merciless applying. I'd be very surprised if it did, to the point that I'm not going to consider it right now, to be quite honest. We found enough damage. We don't need to go that far. Crucially with the elemental modifier bit, one I've not noted so far. Oh, I'm cooking. What if I do this? It's a small detail. It's not really cooking, but it's, I mean, it can matter. Oh, I'm too far away for the toxin procs to do a lot. Let's get closer. Oh, it's just not enough, is it? Ah, it just wasn't enough damage. Damn. Why was it not enough damage? I specifically requested enough damage. Hello? There we go. Yeah, no, that... So... Zata doesn't appear to be... Well, it is carrying over the toxin. Because we're seeing... Am I seeing shield bypass? You know, I'm not even sure now. No, I don't think it's carrying it over. So Zata doesn't appear to be using the elemental mod. But it must do. Because that's the numbers we calculated it based on. What's the unit with most shields? Anti-mowers? They use a lot of shields, don't they? Yeah. I hate anti-mowers. They're annoying. But yeah, I think, yeah, look at that ratio, 10 to 1. Nah. That's not bypassing their shields. Okay. And I don't think I can test it the other way with Sarin because Toxin is already bypass. Toxin does Toxin things. Someone say, I think the damage type doesn't change, just increases. Well, it turns out we've got a way we can test that. Yeah, we can test that as well. In order to test that... Hey Flo, you available still? Let's see what happens. Because I'm genuinely not sure at the moment. Running EDA for a friend now. Wow, that was quick. Okay, never mind the flow. Never mind. We need someone else to bring the adaptation mod. That's all we need. You with the Warframe and adaptation mod. So that you can report back exactly what proc appears on the adaptation. That's all we need to know. You can volunteer yourself all you like, but I need the message in game. Come on, Queen. You know how this works. I can't invite you from Twitch chat. There we go. We have our volunteer. Come on in. Toxic Lash proc Toxin, but Zata proc Void. Yeah, those are the procs, but we're talking about damage. We are talking about damage. Alright then. Metaphor. Something tells me that is French. I may be incorrect. We're all the same. Doesn't matter. Grab yourself adaptation and pop in. Let's not go down that road, Sil Queen. Alright then. Metaphor, you know the deeds. I just need you to let me know what damage type you get hit by. I'm just going to grab some new enemies to make sure these ones don't cause any kind of problems in and of themselves. Alright, let's see what happens here. Your companion needs to be removed, please. Just so they don't cause any issues. This is where we find out what stream delay they have. Ow, you bullet jumped me. What am I testing? Damn, if only I had a title on my stream. Alright then. Please no. Do not shooty shoots. Just stand. What are you doing? Stand! We saw this happen on stream a month ago. Alright. What did your adaptation proc? Blast again. Interesting. And now I activate this. Come on, Moa. You can die. Back it. And then... Ow! What this time? Bro, my stream, my test. Answer or go. Tau. Void. Fairly certain we don't do Tau damage at Zaku, so that's gotta be Void damage. Alright. So it wasn't picking up the buff from the Sobek and Elemental form. Okay then. And let's do this with Sarin as well. Sarin is probably going to land Toxin, he might just insta-die, but I'm going to try. You never know. This might not insta-kill him. Probably will. Yeah, I insta-killed him. Okay. I can't get you up because you're not an ally. Toxin. Cool. Alright then, so I mean, Toxin was what we were expecting anyway for Toxin modding, so that doesn't actually do a test. Let's switch that out for cold. Let's see if it's Toxin again. I think at this point it is just going to be Toxin, but let's see if I get cold out of it instead. Was it Toxin or cold? Toxin, alright. Friendly Fire Toxin is a lot of damage. There we are. Alright. I think that is pretty conclusive on that mana, because if it was going to put the cold into it, we'd have seen it. It didn't. So it is converting the damage type, despite still using the elementals, which is curious. I didn't expect that to happen. But it is what happened. So, Metaphorio, thank you very much for joining in for this testing. I really appreciate your assistance. Okay, what have we not verified then? That kills the Cook idea of putting Toxin onto Zarda's Whisper to deal with the Corpus. But overall, it should still work in general in most places. In the Corpus, you need to shoot twice. Against the Grineer, you need to strip their armor. Against the Murmur, you don't have a strong enough Bathe mod, so you need to use more elements. We have options. Corrupt policies. I'm glad you managed to take away absolutely nothing from this stream. Cheers. Alright then. This... You just got here. Yup, and already making snide remarks as to how Sarin just makes any weapon good, rather than seeing what we're actually doing. Got it, that's fine. People love making remarks when they arrive at the stream, rather than understanding what's going on. That's fine. It just shows everyone that you'd rather have your 5 minutes of fame than actually learn something. It's cool, I get it. I get it. Right. I need to fill out these other mod slots so we can get more elementals on here, because if we can get more elementals on, we can get around the Murmur Bane not being strong enough. So that is the next step, which means I need to level up the gun to go through that process. So let's go level it up. Do we pick Magnetic as potential again? I've gone for Toxin on the Sobek. I've gone for Toxin, which fun fact by the way, when I put the cold mods on there, I actually made it viral. Maybe Raw instead of Zarta's Whisper. Flow. That's not going to do it because you need the double hit of either Toxic Lash or Zarta's Whisper to trigger this whole chain effect. So you end up buffing nothing. Okay then, so let's drop squad from that. Thank you, Metaphor. We can go public, just use some others to leech off of to get ourselves some XP real quick. Because time is money, let's just get a big quick affinity boost because I don't think I have one. Yep, let's fix that. Mirror Lab, too late. Nah, just get the 3-day one, it's fine. There we are. Alright. Yeah, that'll be fine. Sorry, don't be sorry. I'm just saying, you're too late. You couldn't preempt this one. It's more of a... Don't go rushing off to the market this time, please. It's already done. It's already done. What a strange situation I found myself in on a stream. I'm asking a regular viewer to not support the stream. What has happened here? What has happened? Another tip, the green shards, adding toxin proc damage works on the Sobek Sarin. Well, yeah, it's toxin procs. That is not much of a revelation, I'll be honest. Oh, hey, we got a Mirage going all disco ball. Oh, that's brilliant. We're going to be leveled up in no time. Already up to 20. I can contribute my own damage. It's not going to be amazing because we're going to have armor. But it's still going to be damage. In scaling, I mean, we've reached the point of setup where the toxin proc scaling shouldn't matter that much because we just get the one shot, and that one shot creates a cascade one shot. That's what we're going for, where the amount of toxin proc can pale in comparison to the amount of just sheer blapination. Not with this Lavos. I'm just using Lavos for lazy leveling, I'll be honest. I could have brought Sarin to this to see if I could get something silly done here, but we'll pass on that for now. Let's just get the weapon level. Okay, I think that's leveled, 34. Yeah, I think it's leveled. Can I tell how many former I've got in it? I can't. Ugh. Yeah, I think we're on second former, so 34 is leveled, right? Oh, I love having a good Mirage in Sanctuary Onslaught. When you get a Mirage who knows what they're doing, it's just beautiful. And yeah, we are fully leveled. When Jade comes? Soon. soon. Oh, didn't pay attention. Fell. Great saying, may I nominate Frost as the first frame we make this gun work with? He has an elemental buff for freeze force and a large armor strip of avalanche. Sure. I mean, that's an option. Basically, you just need a way to combine the setups. So, armor strip or non-armored enemies, Zarta's Whisper or Sarin, and then enough element. Nope. I'm done.
Enter the conduit now.
Needs 3 levels to max. Oof, someone didn't buy a booster. What problems are trying to solve or improvement trying to make? We're trying to get full value out of the Sobek. To go beyond the cheap answer of, just use Sobek with Sharon, it wins. Because that is in fact not an appropriate answer. Can I get him in his level? Probably not. Oh well.
Hunter.
And instead finding out what's going on with it, and we found out a lot of that, and get to the full amount of it. Because we done a lot of numberinos here. A lot of them. And it's getting us there. God, that amount of XP. If only I could have double formed it or something like that. Whatever. Alright, Sobby. Let's slap a Formerino into Yuzo. Let's do another V polarity, because V polarities are amazing. So now we got 66 capacity. And we need to get it to level... yeah, 66 because I'm only LR3. It could go up to 68 now, so that's good. Let's continue getting power out of this. We want more element. So let's go with... if I go Incendiary Coat, it's currently creating Toxin Blast, which is horrible. But if I go Toxins there we go. Shed Load of Heat Viral. Is that the right approach? No, actually, Prime Touch Shot. Corrosive. Let's do that one. Anyway, gotta level it again, so let's go do that. Let's level it another time. I was just saying, I have a problem with making Kuva Sobek and Tenet Galaxian weapons work for me. You should probably check out my guide to the Tenet Galaxian then. You might find that very informative. Alright, what we got in the squad here? We got Sarin, Measure, Revenant. That Sarin should do some work. That is their job. I hope they get to it. Looks like they are. That is good. Oh yeah, they're getting to work. And I'm reaping the benefits. Hells yeah. And something's died. It's not a player, I'll ignore it. That Sarin is causing a bunch of armor stripping to happen, which in turn I could turn into explosions. Okay, that's now actual player down. It's the Sarin shit. Rise from your grave. Oh yeah. Back to the blappening. Someone's pet continues to be dead. I could revive it, but I don't want to. It's a Robo Doggo. They deserve to be shot. We can see here that the Grenadier, once they have that armor debuff applied, thanks to Sarin, we start to get some good work done. But we're going to be able to take this further shortly. Another way this could extend into absolute ludicrous territory is maybe with the mecha set. Maybe? It depends on how that spreading works. Because if the mecha set counts as mecha set rather than Sobek, then it won't. Now I think about it, yeah. It's the Sobek we need spreading. Mecha's probably not actually that good. Not for this. Yeah. We can leave that one out then. Never mind. We can still use Venice Formation though. Venice Formation is amazing. That means we can have heat procs on every single hit. It's gonna be hard to survive that. Rank 33. Are you kidding me? Alright, we're not quite there. Through we go.
Our experiment moves to a new zone.
Let's see attempted spread through Nova's 4th AoE. I'm not sure that'll do the trick because the AoE from Nova's 4th is the ability itself dealing blast. So I'm not sure that would do what you're hoping for, if I'm quite honest with you. Hello there, everyone. Yeah, things are going on. Things are going well indeed. We have found some interesting details about the Sobek. The actual details, not just use Sharon, but reliable details that allow us to bypass even the issues that Steel Path appears to present. Why does Valence Formation not work like Toxic Lash? Because it doesn't. Because D decided to make it different. Sorry, this is not a case of universal consistency. D just designed it different. It's a very hard to answer question beyond because D made it that way. That's it. I mean, it's a video game. D designs it. If you're asking the how they're different, yeah, we can answer that one. But the why is D made it that way. Why does the Tenet Galaxian act more like the Amprex than the normal Galaxian? Because that's the way D made it. That's the why. The Tenet Galaxian is basically just a cold Amprex, though, let's be real. It does not act much like the Galaxian at all. Oh, that's friendly. Cannot shoot that one. Is that another Sobek I see? That is another Sobek. Hey! We're all leveling Sobeks today. And quite successfully so. It's level 36. We've got all the XP we need. Oh, that booster has been so necessary. Why did he design things like Eclipse nonsensically? We may never know. Yeah. They decide to do something and they do it. That's, if you want more of the why they choose particular things, you're going to need to ask DE for that. Because I sure as shit do not have that answer.
I have opened a new
Is this a Robo Doggo? Ew.
Proceed
I'll let go.
immediately.
Alright, we are leveled up on this one. We wanted Tenet Amprex, D added Tenet Glaxaprex. Yeah, something like that. So we can't add a Tenet Amprex, because the Amprex is actually pretty good. So we'll just add a Tenet Amprex, but call it Glaxian. If we change it to a cold status weapon, you won't notice.
Without you.
I did, Grilla, and absolutely nothing answered me. Now, it's going to be the best primary weapon. I don't know what it's supposed to be in this case, Lord Ledger, but if you're referring to the Kuva Sobek, absolutely not. It is not the best primary weapon in the game. Not with all the shenanigans we have found. It's not the best primary. Nope. Alright then, let's see. Oh god, what form do I want to apply here? So the problem now is that I could go for a dash polarity, which would fit that, but then I run into the problem of any builds that don't want to use Prime Charge Shell. Still saying, Galaxy Vandal is a fun weapon, I'm glad it got an upgrade. But that's the thing, is it even functioning the same? Or is it just appearing to be an upgrade? Because it's basically actually an Amprex. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the dash polarity. This might end up being a mistake, but I'm gonna go with it. See what results we get from that. Also, because we seem to be against the Grenier at the moment, let's just swap that out. I might come to regret this, but we'll see. We'll see. Is there a mod I can throw in here for the meantime that is worthwhile? We'll do a Hunter Moo Moo. No, we've got enough damage. We don't need to do Hunter Moo Moo. That's silly. This is also silly. Why not? Why not? Okay then. So, hopefully this should be the last round of leveling we need on this. Because this is going to get the weapon to level 38. We're going to have 76 capacity, which is a lot of capacity. Galsavi, if you ever want the status chance, probably not going to need it, to be quite honest, but yeah. That could be a one to put in there. You'll see when we get things up to full tilt why it might not really be needed. Weird as it seems, you might just be able to get away without it. Also, I realise I've loaded into round 2. If the next round is not in fact Grenier, then I've kind of slightly wasted the switch of the elemental of the Bane mod. That is the one downside of Banes. Multi-faction missions like this. Because the Bane then only matters part of the time. But this is the only place it seems to really matter. How many times do you face more than one faction at once? About the only other downside would be Acolytes, because they will never match the faction of the mission you're facing. Oh, okay. Thanks. Was that a... I can't tell if that was a Styanax moment or a Mag moment? Oh, hey, we got a Mag doing that. Oh, I see. Yep, subsume on Mag. Mag setting up that shenanigan. That's what it is. Okay. Relic mission? I suppose, yeah, relic missions you do have corrupted. Yeah. I don't know how that interacts with faction stuff, though, because it's a corrupted version of said enemy. Don't know if that actually changes their faction. Due to weird D logic. Does EDA include multiple factions? No, it's just a murmur. Just the murmur. And hence why we have Bane and Murmur. Flap, flap, flap. Alright, let's see. How are we doing? Rank 35. Ah! Rank 36. Ah! What do you mean we're 2 levels off? Can I get at levels here? Can I get them? Hi, thanks. I was trying to get 2 more levels. Can I get it before the portal closes, or do I have to go through? I'm gonna have to go through. God damn it! 1 level short. 1 level short. Ah! Level 38. Seconds into the next round, we have it. Goddamn mag bubble. So this fire rate feels just a little bit silly. Just a little bit silly. Yeah. Just a little bit silly. Now I can see why a Riven for faction bonus will be rather highly valued, given the amount of dips it has in everything that's going on here. You've done 6 Kuva Liches today. God damn, Snake, that is a lot. That is a lot. Alright, I don't know why I'm running around right now. I've got my weapon done. I'm not going to try and be even remotely efficient. I'm just going to Lavos for a bit. 58 seconds of Lavos being Lavos. There we are. Lavos living his best life. And then we stop the dash, and we dash again. There we go. And then missed them because they're behind the pillar, but whatever, we'll just dash again. And then we dash again. And then we dash again. Gotta love those multi-dashes. Transmuting enemies dead. I'm just dashing. I could only take so much ESO, to be quite honest, especially when my weapon's finished leveling. It's the only reason I'm here.
Enter the conduit now.
There we are. We hope levels will get a cool looking prime. I hope so too, yes. What's the best way to get Requiem relics? Buy them off other players. Or just buy the mods outright.
Hurry, Hunter. The conduit is closing fast.
Second best way, you can either do the Kuva Siphons and Floods. I think the Flood is guaranteed to give you a relic. Or you can do Kuva Liches, because each of the thralls has a chance to drop them, so that gives you a decent overall chance, because you can get plenty of
The
thralls.
sanctuary will go on without you.
Being taxied into other people's Kuva Lich hunting missions can also get you the relics without having to have your own Lich. Is there no cooldown because the arcane that makes the ability free every so often? No, the no cooldown was because I used my transmutation probe, then I dashed, and during the dash, transmutation probe hit enemies, recharging the dash so I could dash immediately again. Nothing to do with an arcane. That arcane only makes the energy free, but Lavos is not an energy frame. If you time it right, you can dash, put down a transmutation probe, which will recharge your dash, and at the end of that, the transmutation probe has hit other enemies, so you can dash again. So you get dash, dash, dash in quick succession, which is rarely useful, but it's hilarious when you can use it. Okay, let's see then. So we've got quite a bit of capacity at this point to do quite a bit of fun things. What I could do here is get ourselves even more element on here. We're now going full rad viral overload, oh my god, damage in the elemental department. I mean, that should be enough elemental slappage right there. Theoretically, that should be. So if we now grab... Apparently I've not modded that one up, that's fine. Wrong button, mods. We'll grab Cleanse Murmur. Grab you, whack it up to 11, or 8, 9 bit. Yeah. Whack it up. There we go. And then we're going to grab Lavos. I'm going to grab my Raw build, because it has a lot of strength. And instead of Raw... Let's go. Aptitude good on this one. Aptitude's not going to buff the acid shells. It is acid shells we want to buff. That's why I'm not going on that one. We've still got Merciless for the pure damage there. It should be additive with Aptitude, so there's even more reason we don't need to use it. Also, it's Savvy on a shotgun, but doesn't matter. Anyway, Zarta's Whisper. Just check we're on config B. Infuse, over catalyze on config B. I don't know what strength I'm going to get out of this one. Let's see. I've ended up with a 75% Zarta's Whisper. That should do us a lot of work. I don't know if it's going to do enough, but it should do a lot. So let's see. In fact, can we run the numbers through on this? So we know from here what we were looking at earlier. We'd pre-multiplied in a bunch of details, so I'm going to have to kind of undo that pre-multiplication. So this is now 1.3 times... Did I say 75? 75. So 1.3 times 75% comes out to 97.5. Whereas previously we were working down to a strength of 156. That should be good for us, actually. Running the numbers through, that should be good. Because we've massively increased the elemental bonus as well. This could do what we need it to do. Let's find out. This could be enough. 69% fire shall be lower. Yeah, it should be, yeah. But we got such an increase in the elemental bonus. The elemental has a huge effect. This should work. We'll see. Smell? Cheers. So we're going to take levels here into a mission and see if it becomes as ludicrous as one would hope. Let's go do... And I'm only going to take the Kuva Sobek. No cheesing my way out of this one. If it goes wrong, I fail the mission. Let's see what happens. And I can further enhance my elemental damage by being levels as well. So that could be bonkers. Oh shit, I'm still in public. Whoopsies. Sorry, Rando. I specifically need to be solo. Hate to do it to them, but I specifically need to be solo right now. My bad. There it was. If they questioned it, I had a random disconnect. That's what it was. Totes. Okay. Member of the weakest faction, you just can't fail. I don't know if I agree with that.
Underestimate them at your peril.
Zara's Whisper is on. I'm going to do this without anything else on it first. Did I take off acid shells at some point? Where's the boom? Where's the boom? Where's the damage? Huh? In all my theory testing, did I forget something? I forgot that these guys have armor, probably. But even these guys are still standing. Yeah, I think it's just because we got so many of these feckers around. In my head, the Murmur are unarmored, and there's just these guys that have enough armor to consider, but it turns out these guys are the majority of things we end up shooting, so... Yeah, the Murmur, I should really treat the Murmur as an armored faction. Okay. No bueno, no bueno. Too much armor. Too much armor. Need to have a proper armor shift for that, and Lavos does not bring that. That would be a frost job. So let's, instead of going back to the Murmur right now, because we can go back with Frost in a moment, let's... Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, we're good. Right. Let's instead go for a Corpus run and see what happens there. Silly, silly me. Murmur are not unarmored. Pluto, the survival is over here. There it is. Let's give that another try. So the Corpus being unarmored but shielded, it will still take a 2-tap. We should be there. Do we ever check Zephyr? We're still finishing on working on this before trying out the Zephyr shenanigans. Because Zephyr Tornadoes, I'll be honest, there's nothing new about the fact that Zephyr Tornadoes are just kind of broken in every way. And to be honest, applying Hunter Munitions is not exactly high up my list of buffs right now.
Hold on.
We just not got there so far. We can do it with Lavos! Ooh! We can do it with Lavos. There we go. Who fucking need Sarin. Sure shit, not me. Like, where's it gone? What happened? There we are. It stopped for a moment. What's happening? Sobek. This D removes the interaction with Zata's Whisper and Fenmore, or Felarx, or Leighton. And so, we have a new home for Zata's Whisper. Sobek. What can Lavos not do? Armor strip enough of the Murmur for it to be relevant. Yeah, that is Lavos's weakness. Group armor stripping. In most cases he doesn't need it, he just does a lot of damage and it works. But for this particular weapon it does matter. Did I add Zata to Lavos? Yes I did. I broke my raw build to put on the Zata, and as you can see, it slapped. It go slap. Now let's put in a little bit more elemental power. I think, yep, I have got that on here. And flap, flap, flap. Just got that one out right. Flap. Yeah. Won't matter an armor change? We'll have to see what D actually do with the armor change. Armor is such a evolved system. They would need to have a very good idea as to what they're doing to touch that properly. Whereas this is just kind of bonkers, in all the good ways. Does the Lavos' new ornament interact with acid shells in any way? Where it should interact... In fact, let's see right now, this spread... No, I'm not seeing toxin procs on this guy from the spread. So it's not causing toxin to appear on the spread, so it's only interacting as an elemental mod, which is still a big deal, but only as an elemental mod. This is a lot of enemies where a lot of their hit points are in shields, not health, so that doesn't get the benefit of acid shells, is our understanding, and we're still just clearing out whole groups with this effect. Ozzy they've not given any specific numbers. Believe you me, I would be made aware if they'd given us specific numbers. I'm not been made aware of anything like that. So if you have a source on that, I'm all ears. Basically the Kuva Shaka? I mean, if the Kuva Shaka had a 15-meter radius, sure. Alright, we have an incoming Acolyte. Let me switch up my strategy a little bit. I wonder if I can use the Acolyte to blast a whole bunch of Corpus. That'd be great. Where's he spawned? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Well, that was disappointing. I was hoping that it would blast this whole group of Corpus, but apparently they don't die. So acid shells doesn't trigger, I guess. Whatever, I'll just keep shooting. Back to Toxin. Come on. I think the problem though that D are going to encounter, or have already encountered, when it comes to the whole concept of adjusting armor scaling, is that it's so integral to the actual threat of the Grineer. Either they leave the armor high, in which case what did they achieve anywhere other than to make endurance even easier, or they drop it down but they have to buff the health to compensate, in which case nerfing every build that relied on armor stripping. Yeah. D stream from 26th of April, probably over-exaggerated. Okay, yeah, you misunderstanding what they were saying then, I can tell you that for free. D did not announce the exact numbers they intend to change armor to with an upcoming update in that stream. They may have given suggestions or ideas as to the kind of things they're looking at. You may have also just heard things from chat and misunderstood it. But D did not, at any point in their workshops, give specifics as to what they're doing with the armor. Which is why the conversations on it are all very much, we'll see. We'll just have to find out. Where's that guy at? I might. I got magnetic. How are you going to fare about that? Surprisingly well, actually. This is with infinite magnetic rocks. Granted, the void is making it where he cannot avoid my shots, which is actually kind of hilarious. Zada's Whisper, the hard counter to enemies running away. Oh god, the devastation. Oh, that was beautiful. That dude is hard to kill than Acolytes. He actually is, yes. He actually is. Although I do have a Naira, I could have just used that. I think about it. Can I set up multiple of these zones? Or did it move it? I think it moved the zone. In any case, I now have a shield strip zone. I can try me Corpus. Oh, that was a little tanky. Just the explosion of a group of them at once. No, my worm! Why you kill my companion? My companion was not hurting you, it was only allowing me to hurt you more. I will demand to see Parvos Granum about this. Worm's back. I threatened him with Parvos. I'm back. Too bad you main Styanax? Oh right, for treasury, yeah. Yeah, Styanax, Caliban, and Aniru, they all just laugh at the treasurers. Like, oh, that's cute. That is real cute. You think your shield's gonna work? No. Hildren, however, looks at the treasurers and goes, ha-ha! Okay. Not sure why. D just love to have these inconsistencies. We have another incoming Acolyte. I've got my corrosive prepared and active. Reload the gun. Where you at? Hi, violence. Wait, violence? Uh-oh. No, my Zata's Whisper. How can I kill you without my Zata's Whisper? Never mind. Anyway. Yeah, I'd like to say that I found an approach that works. This does seem to be Omni Warframe, which is what I was looking for Sobek. If it required just Zaku or just Sarin, then I would write off the Sobek as a gimmick. Now, we still require an ability synergy to make it work, but then a lot of setups just go, hey, yeah, if you add this ability, then it does amazing stuff. That's fine with me. A single helmet ability to allow all Warframes to use the Sobek to this extent, if you build them for it, that's cool. You can use this on Lavos, you can use this on Sarin, you can use this on Revenant, you can use this on so many different setups. You need enough elements, enough strength, and the main mod. And then you're there. Then you're there. How much strength is needed on Subsume Zada's Whisper for this to work? It depends on your elemental modding and your Bane modding, which means if you have a Riven, you can bring that down as well. Because you can get even more than just the basic cleanse mod. That I'm going to have to spreadsheet out later. That's going to require a spreadsheet. But once I can get those answers, that's going to be the kind of thing that goes into a video. That's the kind of answers that let people know exactly how to make this weapon work. And such a spreadsheet, if the video does indeed happen, if I feel happy with the results and want to go ahead with the video, that's the kind of thing where the spreadsheet will go over onto Patreon as well, for others to use and fine-tune their setup. How much do people complain suggesting faction damage on influence? I don't listen to people who complain about faction damage.
They could not do this
If they want to complain about it, they can just use something else. There are plenty of ways to play this game that don't require you to use faction mods. So when something comes up that says, hey, faction mods are great, get good. I could care, but it's literally one mod per faction. You already do that if you change your elements to that faction. So anyone who does truly complain about faction as a single mod part of a setup also demonstrates to me they use corrosive against the corpus, and at that point I do not care about their opinion on modding. And I think that's a pretty fair assessment of the entire situation. Someone who uses corrosive against the corpus because they're too lazy to take off a mod, their opinion on modding doesn't need to be considered anymore. People complain just subsume raw and everything, which works, and sure, go ahead and do that. Have fun. That's part of the beauty of the casual nature of Warframe. There are options for those who want to be lazy, there are options for those who want synergies, and then there are options for people who want to have this kind of gameplay where they go, wah, wah, activate this, and then wah, here, wah, ability, wah, hoo, ka, I killed 3 enemies. Fuck yeah. Like, Jesus, how many combos do you need for one setup? That is a level of gameplay that goes too far in the other direction of, my dude, you don't need to do that much. You can just shoot an enemy, they die. You don't need to be stacking strength from an Operator Arcane and from Madura Ride by doing a Void Dash and a double Void Dash, and then you do the whirly jump thing, activating the Kuva Sobek Incarnate upgrade. I don't even know what words I'm putting together at this point. Brain no working at that level. Point is, it works about that much. This is a setup with minimum overall effort, high results, and versatile application. Which, if I had to sum it up into one word, makes it practical. And that is where the value is at. That is where the value comes in. And I'd like to say here from this demonstration, we have found that value. There is still the matter of arm strip. Frost already solves that, so really that's that one sorted. You could put it onto Hildren. Hildren does a high strength armor strip. Because we want high strength, like more is probably better overall, then any pillage... Sorry, Hildren works because she's got pillage. Any high strength armor strip built in is good for all factions. If it's not built into the frame, you are going to struggle more, because then your armor strip options are very, very limited. Because you can't subsume on, you need to subsume on Zartas. Anyway, how we doing? Yeah, you know what? Let's pop out of this one. Demonstration is all good on that. I'm surprised this worked as well as it did, I will be quite honest. I didn't expect this level of results. And this is only possible by carefully identifying what goes into making the whole Sarin Sobek system work. What should I mod against Corpus? Because I don't feel the impact of magnetic damage on them. Toxin is very, very good because it bypasses their shields. Pretty much that. Toxin just laughs at the Corpus. Alright. And that, by the way, that was using a rad viral approach. Just kind of wild that that works too. That was a rad viral. If I had a valence magnetic, I could have rad viral magnetic there, but then we're just getting into silly purposes. I could swap this around and have gas magnetic. Good God. There's various bits and pieces you could do with all that. Various silly options. Hell, I could do that one. That would give us blast corrosive. There's various combos available to us, but they don't really matter because it mostly comes down to acid shells exploding. Now, Triple augment, Kuva Sobek will be for nonsense gimmick weapon. The other augments, we'll have to see what value they really provide to the Sobek, to be quite honest with you. I've had a lot of tea from a lot of bits of hydrates, so I'm going to be back in just a moment, chat. I don't want to see a load of spammy drones. Come up with something creative. Sure, we can do better than drones, but I'll be back in just a momentinos. Don't you go anywhere. I see. I said get creative. I wasn't anticipating the Ken Pat emote. That is a lot of Ken Pat emotes. Oh, good God. There's a lot of others in there, but that's a lot of Ken Pat emotes. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. From Slam and Slug Engineer, do you suppose the Galaxian augment would work on Railjack on call? I have no idea because it doesn't exist in the game yet. So I've not been able to try that. I don't know. I really don't know. Right. Run target fixation on Zephyr, is that just not really worth it? I do like skin damage. I mean, if you like it, run it. That's what this game is about. Do things you enjoy. Okay, so Sogbet Augment, which we are some amount of distance away from getting. On reload, next magazine has status chance and multi-shot increased by 15% per shot landed with current magazine, max 15 stacks. So max, what's that, 225%? So, multi-shot is nice, status chance is nice. We have a couple questions on this, not least of which, per shot landed, does that include multi-shot? Because if that includes multi-shot, you can basically score that in one shot. Unless the enemy instantly dies, in which case then you'll need to hit more enemies. If it doesn't include multi-shot, then you're going to have to be pretty darn accurate. But I guess if you're firing a shot of a shotgun and not even a single pellet hits, what are you doing? So it's not clear as yet just how overall easy it is to stack this, but I imagine it should be easy. But yeah, Thunder Average is pointing out, the problem with this is that it doesn't interact with acid shells. And the same is true of the other augment as well, which gives us status chance and justice. Justice is basically, it doesn't really matter after really early levels. And the plus status isn't that big of a deal because if we need status we can easily apply it with other mods anyway that also do more for us than just a bit of status and just a bit of justice. So this augment and the the Justice Augment, whatever it's called, don't really help out with acid shells. So putting those onto our build would get in the way of what our build can otherwise do with Sobek, getting in the way of just what acid shells makes the Sobek into. Just to say, I mean, it does kind of work with acid shells, just depends on how tightly packed the enemies are. Does it, Jassa? Okay, walk me through it. Walk me through it, Jassa. How does extra multi-shot make acid shells better? Specifically, tightly packed. You said how tightly packed the enemies are, so how does that come together? How does it make acid shells better? I'm curious as to what you're cooking on that one. More rounds, more enemies hit, higher odds of death, leading to more explosions. So more rounds does not mean more enemies hit, because I should be aiming at a single enemy and hitting them. Higher odds of death, I'm one-shotting them. So I'm not seeing acid shells being improved there. Yeah. The augment that is in the Nightwave to me looks like a, hey, do you want to use the Kuva Sobek for not acid shells? Then here is a solution. And it's a solution that increases the lifespan of the weapon in terms of how high level it can be effective on. It also gives it multi-shot that doesn't require kills to stack, unlike Galvanized Hell. But yeah. Like I said, nonsense gimmick instead of practical. I mean, it's not even nonsense gimmick at that point, it's just different to the point of being irrelevant. So yeah, that's not an acid shells thing. Acid shells doesn't need it, which means that this, as we got to so far, works just as is out the gate. I have got Prime Point Blank here going alongside Primary Merciless. I feel like this is valuable for the upfront damage to get the ball rolling. So far to me that feels like a good shout, because otherwise we'll have less than 40% of the damage until they start stacking up, versus having it in there. This does make a significant difference in terms of getting started, and the last thing you want on a weapon is for it to just feel like you're throwing Nerf darts at them. You don't want that. Yeah. Alright, so Frost. The frame that many would like to forget. They are silly for that. There's a reason I have 5 Tau forged in this fucker right here. He kind of gets some work done. He do kind of... Okay, apparently someone got pissed at me for not naming builds. I hope they learnt their lesson. That should be... Corrosive Projection. Don't know why you're enemy radar. There we are. Sometimes I forget just how contrarian I can be. Anyway, like Caliban, why are you talking about a mission node on Uranus there, Snake Radar? Like, it's a mission, sure, you can go there, but I mean, no one really needs to care that much about a rescue mission. It's not relevant right now. Anyway, Frost, Warframe that people tend to forget, but shouldn't. We have got the armor strip. We have got the Kuva Sobek. We have the ability to get some work done. The problem is I also need to put Zarta's Whisper on here. So, and is 145% strength going to be enough? I don't think it is. So instead of using this build, let's make a new one and make that work. Corrosive Projection in here. So we're going to want decent range, decent strength. Ooh, how are we going to bring all this together? I think I might want to go for... Let's for now just give myself energy support, because because I feel like that's going to be a grand idea. Let's just give me energy support. Multi augmented? Actually, multi augmented might be a good shout. Screw energize. That's going to be a good strength support as we go on, which will mean even bigger and bigger blaps. Let's go with that. Why do you know what planet it's even on? Because it's one of 2 mission nodes which are named after Warframes, and they both happen to be on the same planet. The other one is Titania. Uranus is both a Titania and a Caliban node. And neither of them are relevant to those Warframes. Go figure. It's a thing. Alright, let's get ourselves some flow on here. Let's get ourselves a defense. Now, I think for defensive purposes, I'm going to try something a little bit odd here. I'm going to go redirection, adaptation, and then fast deflection for the rapid recovery. Now we just want a whole bunch of strength. Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude. I've run out of capacity. Alright, let's see. Can I safely former this? Let's do that. Oh, there's not a V player. Let's see on this one. Whatever this build, it's going to break. This build's going to break. Unless I can do a different one. Both the big ones are that. I know. Do I have one? I have one. Wah! There we are. That was necessary. Okay, now we got more to work with. That's good. Cool. Auger mods. Auger mods saving the day. Okay, 300% strength. That should do it, right? I mean, it's going to make for a very, very expensive avalanche, but we got Arcane Steadfast to try and get around that, maybe. This should be fine, right? I might be going too much on the strength. Yeah, it's too much on the strength. Let's not go Blind Rage. I clicked the wrong mod. Let's not go Blind Rage, which we hopefully don't need that much strength. We can instead go for an Umbral Intensify. That fits. There we go. That should be fine. 253 strength, that should be fine. And now we don't have the efficiency issues. Alright. That's a good question still. How can a mission node use a weapon? Badly, I presume. Alright, config E. Let's get rid of Ice Wave. No one needs Ice Wave. No one needs that. I need to feed him! Alright. Feedy feedies, Ferrite. Not that one. Gangly will be overkill. Kovnik. No, I need that, I think. Probably. Vestian Moss. When did I ever use Vestian Moss in my life since that quest? Probably never. Gonna save the cryptographic alus. Entrati Lanthorns. Who needs those? Oracle cells? Plenty of them. Have some of those. Let's see, what else can we throw into here? Gyromag systems? Yeah, have them. Lure Thraxplasm, sounds good. Thraxplasm, excellent. Feed it in there. Don't need 3000 cryotic, you can have that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's go with the Void Gel Orbs. And some Enigma Gyrum. Brilliant. Yeah, this seems like a totally sensible way of feeding him. Absolutely no valuable materials there. Let's do it. Alright then. Let's infuse the ability. Ice Wave. E. You can feel the newer players wincing? Why would they wince? They wouldn't know what an Entrati Lanthorn is. They're new. There we are. Think you're getting indigestion from what my helmet is eating? Nah, it's fine. There's nothing weird happening there at all. Okay, so we got 65% Zardan's Whisper to start with. That'll scale up over time. So that should do us a bunch of good work there. Then we're going to have the armor strip. Yeah, this should work. This should work. Oh, should be doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Right then, please give me a good spawn. Please give me a good spawn. Please give me a good spawn. I don't want some big ass open room. I would like a nice tight corridor full of good explodiness. Be kind to
Their
me.
rage is vehement, their focus impressive.
Looking good.
Give them all warriors death.
There's a crate downwards.
Life support has been cut off.
Don't think this is the
They're
room I'm
trying
hoping
to choke
for.
you out. Hold on.
Oh, this'll do. This'll do.
sending
This'll do.
auxiliary
I don't have any energy. Right. Oh my god! That was disgusting! Oh boy! Okay. Alright! Okay! That was a spicy meatball right there. I think the only limit now is the range of my armor strips. Let's probably have to look into changing that on this setup in a bit. Oh, right. I was going to say, where'd damage go? That's where I went. The line of sight check, I'll be honest, is a little bit finicky at times. Uh-oh. Line of sight can be finicky. My word! Are the results there? Ho ho ho! Oh, this is a setup that gets some work done. This is a setup that puts some hairs on the chest of Korea and then promptly burns them off. Oh yes! You only want to get Frost, just use this build? I can assure you, Frost can do more than just this build. This is just using what Frost is good at. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The absolute blappanage. It's illegal. It is illegal. This is a top Frost moment right here. Bang. Bang. Oh. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. Bang. Only problem is I've now run out of energy. Never mind. Found some. But I am leveling at the moment, so that is giving me energy as well. Without that, I would be struggling more on energy here. This is energy intensive, so I'm going to have to find some way to improve on that. Oh, Zarta's run out. There we are. Bang. And again, please. Bang. Oh, sorry. Bang. Bang. There we are. Line of sight checks are looking a little bit painful. Use Archon Flow. I'm not killing with cold procs. Or cold damage for that matter. So, that doesn't help. I'm actually killing with blast damage. Just a reminder to that discovery that we verified early on. I'm killing with blast damage right now. That just feels wrong to say. Oh, Zarta's run out. I do miss the hydration on Lavos, but whatever. Oh, even this Xmas nearly just perished outright. The setup you were watching earlier relied on cold damage only. Which setup was that one? Because Acid Shells does blast. That's specifically part of how it operates. It is blast. Oh, it just feels so good. The kill rate isn't amazing with this current approach, but I am conscious of my energy. If I had more energy to play with, I would be more liberal with my application here. Instead, I'm trying to find spots where I get maximum output. Oh, I didn't get Mania in that. That's annoying. Mania, get over here. Now, you don't actually... Ah! I was going to say, you don't actually die, so you're not going to trigger acid shells, which is annoying. Oh, gods. Am I even hitting him? Nope, not hitting him. Bloody turbulence. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. I have no energy, and Mania is threatening to murder me. Turn off your turbulence, you hacker!
When you are ready, go to extraction.
Turn it off! Thank you. Right, Zarta's on. Bang. Bang. There we go. When the enemy uses defenses, how dare. Blast, 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 orange shard. We can come back to that thought, yeah. Now that we have finished working with the actual setup, that might be valid. Maybe. Boop. Stoop. Armor strip the area, and then they go boom. Yep. I mean, I think I've verified the effectiveness of this. Just energy economy is an absolute pain in the ass on this one, because this is a very expensive armor strip. Even if it is large area, it's still expensive to keep casting it like this. Even with Arcane Steadfast, to be honest. Oh, Zarta's run out. There we are. If you shoot one enemy and no one else dies, check your Zarta. And then check line of sight. Oh, the chain of that was beautiful. It does get around line of sight restrictions to an extent because the chain just needs to follow the corner. So long as you can get the chain going, it will follow them around. Like that. That went from that shot there, round to killing over this side. You just need a continuous line for the chain to happen. Oh, Zarta's run out. Could you desk cube for energy generation? Could do. Yeah, there's various means of energy generation. It's just I've not got sufficient energy generation on this current setup is the point. Oh, it's so bloody strong. I love it. It's silly, but it works. Maybe it's not that silly. Ow! Who hit me? Who volunteered themselves for death? Where are you? There you are. I wonder where you got off to. Ah, it's beautiful. Alright. I think I've said it's beautiful enough times now. I think we're getting the picture. And what a beautiful one it is. Oh, did that not? Ah, probably didn't have the line of sight due to that railing. There we go. Has Steadfast procced yet? Oh yeah, plenty. Yeah, it's procced right now. It procs a lot, and then you'll notice that my energy just doesn't go down for a moment. Or even just fully refills because of leveling up. There's your way to energy economy. Just spend a former before every mission, so you have to re-level your Warframe. That's energy economy. I mean, armor sharing is pretty standard tactic for high-level content. Yes. I'm not sure what the I mean is there for. What's the rest of your point? Where were you going with that thought when you said I mean? We're over time? Thanks for heads up. Boom. Armor strip. Boom. Yeah, this is beautiful. Alright. This has fully leveled the frost once I leave, so let's leave. Whilst we're at it, for those of you who don't already know, we do a raffle every Wednesday and Sunday, and today is indeed one of those 2 days. So, if you've not already grabbed yourselves a ticket for the raffle, exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win that. Oh yes, indeed. That's it, Panda saying, being an extremely casual Warframe player and hopping into a Kenjir stream is like getting into the wrong class in college. And now you're in an astrophysics class while you're majoring in something like philosophy. Hey, well, hopefully you learn some astrophysics then. Because it does feel like astrophysics trying to understand what the hell DE have done with this game sometimes. Yes. Purple shells would add to the acid shells? Yes, they would. Elemental damage. Ooh, that could get spicy, actually. Ooh. Well, we got a lot of elemental damage already on the weapon, but that could get spicy. You are right there. Mirrorlabe, what are you doing? Oh my gods. Mirrorlabe. Mirrorlabe. How much did that just cost you? 10 Auraformer bundles? 30 Auraformer. I don't have that many frames that need that. What if 1,500 platinum on Auraformers? Mirrorlabe. You nearly ran out? Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for the 30 Auraformers. I'm sure I will use like 5 of them in the next decade. Cheers. What? What even? Oh my word. Decade? Yeah, decade. How many Auraformers have you used, Gorilla? Century? Well, it probably won't go that far, you know. D do produce quite a number of Warframes. I mean, within the next decade, who knows, we might get Lavos Umbra. And then where are we at? Alright. So yeah, there is some work to do on this to improve energy economy, because I feel like Frost is going to need it. But the combo there is very simple, and it is almost frame agnostic. You need an armor strip if you're against the Grineer or the Murmur, or a no, yeah, that's that. So you need an armor strip if you're against armored enemies. If you're not against armored enemies, you don't need an armor strip. And then you need Zarta's Whisper, or if you're Saren, you can use Toxic Lash. You need damn good strength on it. And then elemental modding out the wazoo. And that's it. That is it. Find your enemies, line up the shot, bang, they explode. I genuinely came into this stream thinking it would be difficult to convince me that this Kuva Sobek was that worth talking about. I came into the stream thinking it was mostly just some Saren synergy with acid shells, and that's just the entire story and nothing else amazing will happen. I thought it would just come down to, oh yeah, Saren is great, who knew? But no, we found something far more significant here with the Sobek. Far, far more significant. And I'm quite satisfied with that. How would this work with a Slova with Zarta subsumed over 2? I don't think the Slova really has anything much to do with it, Nuka-Cola. If you're running Slova, then you don't have the armor strip, so that is the important starting point there. That either you need to find some other armor strip, or most likely you're just going to have to go, well, this doesn't work against the Grineer and Murmur. But against the Corpus and against the Infested, you go, okay, step 1, activate Zarta. Step 2, shoot them in the head. Everything dies. Doesn't Prime double damage of all damage? Doubling damage is doubling damage, but if you're not working with an armor strip, then double damage is not going to be enough. Armor does a lot more than half the incoming damage. 300 armor halves incoming damage. It would need to go far beyond double damage for it to make up for the lack of armor strip. Never heard anyone say thank goodness we have a Slova. I mean, there's been times, but mostly yeah. Mostly yeah. So there are some frames which it would not be ideal with, and then there are frames it would be brilliant with. But overall, the fact is it can be used on every frame. Every. Anyway. Nutshell teams appreciate Speedva. Yeah, Speedva does not work with this setup because you need a high strength Zarta's Whisper to create this sheer scale of the obliteration bomb this is. Without that, you have to get multiple kills, at which point you're running out of enemies and they'll die to not being shot by the Kuva Sobek. So you got the trade-off there. Don't skip the Bane mod. Oh yeah, Bane mod is necessary. It's it applies, let me see, once on the health percentage spread, then it applies on the Zarta spread. Now that's it. It's only double dipping then. Okay. Only double. I mean, only. I say only double. That's still applying a 140% damage bonus. I mean, that's not small. And then against the Murmur, it'll be only 69. That is definitely an only. Against the Murmur, it's going to be a lot weaker, so a lot harder to pull off the ultimate effect. Oh my god. Wait. Wait. Guys. I did the Grineer mission with Cleanse Corpus. That's how powerful this is. I wasn't using the cleanse at all. Retest? There's no retest needed. They were dying. All that matters is that shooting weaker units would kill stronger units more consistently if you throw in the cleanse as well. Oh my god. How much of Grenade don't need bait? I mean, it's more to the point of dealing with the fact that Kuva Sobek's... Sorry, I'm on it already. Kuva Sobek's Acid Shells, it's 45% of enemy max health before the Steel Path modifier, which means it's 18%. 18% of their max health being spread. However, we've then got Zarta, which is further multiplying down on that. Which is going to be 65% of that, so 0.65 times 18, 11.7%. Which means with just those two alone, no elemental mods, we're doing 29.7% of enemy health, which is not a lot. But then we have two prime mods, so that is 330%, and then this... 480% bonus to the Zarta portion. God damn, that's a lot. So 480% bonus, 11.7 times 5.8, 67.86 times. And then we add on the 18%. With this setup and the wrong Bane mod, or wrong Cleanse mod, we deal in an AoE scaling down over distance, 85.86% of enemy hit max health adds damage to other enemies. And then the Bane effect comes in, the faction modifier comes in, and can multiply on top of that. If I use the correct multiplier, let me add this all up correctly, we would have 16.86 times 1.55 plus 18 times 1.55. 190%. 190% of enemy health will be spread as damage. Which means if it falls off linearly over distance, then at around about 7-ish meters, we're still doing 100% of damage. So, say if we shoot an Elite Lancer, then another Elite Lancer 7 meters away takes enough damage to instantly die. Which can then scale to the next one dying. And the next one dying, and the next one dying. And if there's more than a few in range, like it's not 1 by 1 by 1, then if there's a stronger unit nearby with, say, 5 times the health, Well, if they get hit 5 times by that 100% damage, they're going to fall over and die. At which point, anything near to them also dies. Chain effect. Bane only gets more important as HP goes up too. It's just a multiplier. Just a multiplier. Who needs Corvex? Yeah, who needs Corvex, really? Yeah. Corvex, sit down. We got this. So it's doing the whole thing without Bane. Oh my god. Yeah, this is effective. This is effective enough that I can say that we have overtuned the strength, perhaps, on Frostier, and can find some more way to get in efficiency. Or maybe I've overtuned the defense and whatnot. Actually, the defense was quite nice there. So yeah, I could probably drop this down to normal intensify and then get rid of the secrets for some efficiency. That could help me out there. There's ways and means to improve on this, yeah. What we're saying that acid shells does blast damage. It does. Yeah, so this plus 45% enemy max health is not corrosive but blast damage. We tested this earlier, it's definitely blast. So it's 450 corrosive and then whatever that scales off of, I frankly don't care. It's going to be piss all. It's the enemy max health that matters, and that is blast. Swam saying the wiki says that Zart's Whisper is also affected by base damage mods like Point Blank. In what context? In what context? Because Prime Point Blank is not going to be affecting the acid shells damage, or at least it shouldn't. Heaven help us if it does. I didn't actually test that, but it shouldn't. So I'd be surprised if it then scales into Prime Point Blank there, because we didn't see it originally. So if acid shells is affected by Prime Point Blank, then yes, it's relevant. If it isn't, then it also isn't affecting the Zata on that. Yeah. So the context is important, that number one Swam. Anyway, we are massively over time. I've got things that do need to be researched before a video is made on this, so don't expect it on Monday. That's absolutely not going to happen. There is definitely some more development to happen here, but I am happy to say I have been convinced that Kuva Sobek does have a place in a good arsenal. It's niche. It is particular. You do need to actively build your loadout around it. But if you do so, you got some shiny happening there. It's not as easy to use as the Tenet Galaxian. Not as easy to set up, not as free form, but once you set it up, it feels good. Low enemy density, however, it's going to suck. Low enemy density is not the domain of the Kuva Sobek, at least not for acid shells. In low enemy density, you just shoot the enemies one by one and call it a day. Yeah. 6 days a bank holiday, take a break for a day? Nope. That's not how content creation works. I take a break like that, that's just a day things don't happen. That's where YouTube goes, oh, I guess you fell off then. Piss off. Yeah. Tim Rashad say you also need 4 primed mods. Need is a stretch. We don't need this amount of elemental damage. The amount of elements helps on that, and again, that'll be part of my testing. How much can I shrink down the primed cost? How cheap can I make it still effective? Because that is an important part of it. It is a problem that you're right to point out that it is so expensive in this current setup, especially considering that the Kuva Sobek isn't an endgame weapon. It is mid-game available. So there is definitely a consideration there. Although I suppose you don't need to go to this extent on non-steel path, because the enemies won't have the 2.5 times health multiplier. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. We don't need to keep on running around these details. There's more for me to research, and that I shall research. For now, let's do the Platinum giveaway. If you've not already grabbed a ticket, well, tough, I've already mentioned it. We're well over time. So let's just close it up and see who actually remembered to enter, shall we? All tickets are in at this point, and only one person's going to be the winner. Oh yes, indeed. The winner of today of the Platinum giveaway is going to be... How am I supposed to pronounce that? Jayu? Jaxu? Jasho? Is this French? Is this Welsh? Is this... What? I'm sorry, there are too many vowels there and an X in the middle of it, and my brain just breaks. Sorry, absolutely cannot. Jaaxeau. Jasho. I'm far too English to pronounce that correctly. I've absolutely butchered that one. So, to the user whose username is spelled Jaaxeau, congratulations, you are the winner today of the Platinum giveaway. I'll be getting in touch with you in English in your Twitch DM to get hold of your Warframe username, platform, and cross-save status. We'll get that Platinum sent on over to you. Congratulations on that. And I do apologise for absolutely butchering your name there, but I have no chance. I'm going to need a full pronunciation guide from the owner of that account on that one. Anyway, that is all that we've got time for today. We are going to be raiding over to another part of the Warframe community. Where can we raid today? That is the question. Where, oh where can we raid today? Let's see who is live in the Warframe category. Hey Engineer, would Zarta's Whisper work on Bladestorm? That is not something I've tested today, so I don't know. Time to find a VTuber to raid? That's not how we operate here, Robin, and you know that because that's why you said it. Let's see. Well, there are a surprising number of streams where they are blurred out with may contain sexual themes. You know what? I am really not in the mood to raid into something that says may contain sexual themes today, quite frankly. So we're not going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. No. Self-guessed great streamer. Let's see. Name. Let me have a quick peek at this one. They're a little bit further down the list. Let me have a quick peek. What are you off? Waiting for them to say something. Alright, come you saying good. Doesn't sound like the highest quality of microphones, but you know what? Let's give it a try. Few of you are recommending them. Let's try it out. Few of them are recommending them. If this be a bad raid, you all can complain to Prince Harry. Yeah, we'll blame the royal family. Excellent. If this raid does not go well, blame the royal family. That is my leaving message to you all. Thank you very much for joining in today. It has been an absolutely wonderful one. I will see you in the next stream on Wednesday. In the meantime, be your absolutely very best selves. Look forward to your week. I hope it's a good one for you. And I will see you then. Bye-bye.